Okay, the recording has
My
started.
free might be a little different.
Okay.
Right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Quality of Life for March. We're in March? Yes, March. I'm Pat Moore, Chair. And we're waiting for our co-chair. And we have. I'm having,
Zach Ballmer.
yeah, I'm having a.
District Manager.
Senior.
I do want to announce item number 3, Con Ed, they couldn't make it tonight. The presenter had a death in the family, so can't make it tonight, but,
That's Con Ed.
we will make sure to get them back. So if you're here for item 3, I apologize.
Basically, we wanted item 3 to come to be able to talk to you guys from DVC, but we'll proceed anyway. Hello, Peter. All right, so we're gonna start with our first precinct. We're going to get our officer to introduce himself. Tell us what's going on.
Hello, Officer Holman from the First Precinct. I'm the crime prevention officer down here. I know there were a lot of concerns about Val Street, between the First Precinct, and our CRT squad. They were on Val Street heavy for the last, 2 weeks, making arrests every single day, multiple arrests.
It's CRT.
Triple response team. So the guys with the cats. So
Is it
they're out.
about the counterfeit stuff? or-
Yeah, it was a community complaint, especially on list guard. So the cops were out there, like I said, heavy about 2 weeks, making tons of arrests. Someone had mentioned the carjacking over on 90 West Street. All those cars and all those jackings were like Brooks, New Jersey, Newark, I believe twice. 2 cars in Newark and 2 cars in a different town in New Jersey. So we worked with Newark PD, getting fingerprints. All the cars were recovered. No one was hurt, thankfully. But 3 of the 4 incidents were not actually carjackings. They were just like keys left in the ignition. The guys hopped in and took off with the cars. Thankfully, these cars were really expensive and had a really good GPS systems inside of them, so they were easily tracked. One, I think it was like a situation to get out of the car, of course, much worse. I think anything else that stands out. No, anything you guys want to bring to me?
No, I can't really think of anything in particular. I just wanted you to come in just in case there was anything that anyone, Vera, Ryan, no?
Yeah, any as far as like raw stats, I don't have the numbers with you. I'm sorry, I just came from protest.
Yeah, we also have the,
Yeah.
council meeting next
Oh, sure.
week, right?
Yes, last week, last Thursday month.
Yeah.
Burglaries are down, larcenies are up, grand larcenies are typically from stores. So, our brand new captain, Robert Fisher, he's been taking, cops from different sectors and kind of moving to Soho. That's where a lot of the grand larcenies are happening. And our midnight teams are, moving around and thankfully the burglaries are down.
And what happened with, I'm sorry, Brendan, you can go next. What happened with, Captain Fisher had started some initiatives to get officers in, like CVS and,
Sure,
yeah.
sure. It's, he pulled his business team. He basically took cops and spread them throughout the drugstores. We're always, like, it's not so much a larceny. It's when these people become emboldened that they can just steal at the ready. And then that puts the employees in danger, and these petty larcenies, grand larcenies even, they become what we call shoplifts gone bad. They become a robbery where someone pulls a hypodermic needle or threatens force. So his idea was, let's nip this in the bud, especially now, that it's kind of cold and crime is low. We set the tone that, there's gonna be a cop at all these drugstores, or at least the perception that there is. And our arrests are up 70% in Soho overall. Yeah, I'm mixing in the CRT numbers, and obviously the tech squad, but it's like the triple digits. Our arrest numbers are off.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing. You guys, it's not just, do a report, come back later and figure out the detective squad. These guys are being arrested quickly. We've been talking to the stores and making sure that they know their local cops, that they lay that 911 time. So not only do we have neighborhood coordination officers who cover their respective sectors, we have a business team who supplement them. But some of the business team guys, like I said before, they're gonna get moved from like, let's say Tribeca and brought up into Soho to kind of support the stores over there.
And what's happening with, Burger King on Colton Street?
No,
Remember?
no
Yeah.
news is good
No
news.
news is good news, but you remember the people. who were
Absolutely,
complaining,
absolutely.
yeah.
I don't have anything like it's,
Okay, if you don't know
they
anything.
were coming strong, which is great. We always want to continue, and Captain Rosenthal was here, Inspector Rosenthal now, to come and say your piece and what your problems are. I don't think that they've said much recently, so I'm gonna take that as a sign of good things happen.
One other thing. Have you gotten any directives from on high about bicycles?
Bicycle. Nothing besides what we're doing. We have, I hate to give you the initials for what I call these as, I'm trying to think what it actually is. Basically our traffic safety guys. They've been doing part of the day besides, Canal Street and in the major thoroughfares to make sure people are driving safely, our bicycle, checkpoints and trying to catch these guys and stop them from taking the sidewalk. Unfortunately, with the rise of delivery drivers, these guys come from all over the city, and I swear you never see the same guy twice. So as much as we bang them out and give them summonses, to really the champion that arises and kind of, teach them.
But you've had no overall like directive from on high? That this is
Not
now
that I
the process?
not that I could point to. No new
'Cause
signs.
I was
that could-
sitting, I was walking down the street and a bike almost ran me over and there were two officers sitting in a police car right here. And I was,
Give me the street, and we'll make sure, there's more presence and more,
I mean, they're all over, truthfully, they're all over the sidewalk. And, I understand tourists.
Mhm.
They don't know any better, even though when we had the commissioner here, when he first, Lower Manhattan Commissioner, when he first started, he said, oh, the instructions are all over the kiosk when they rent the bike. Who reads? I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, we really need to do a city campaign, but that has nothing to do with it. But anyway,
I've experienced the same thing you have, so,
Yeah. everybody's almost gotten run over.
yeah.
And there's some people who have gotten.
Yeah, it's a delivery guy, yeah, of course, it's always, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of times it's delivery people. I'm sorry, but you want to say something?
No, those are pretty much the same
Pretty much the same.
points I was gonna hit. I was just gonna ask specifically about the Duane Reade at like 250 Broadway. Have we seen a reduction in crime there?
So what we've been doing is, sending our patrol cops, the guys who answer the radio. That's like one of their first stops of the day. One of the cops, one of our new guys, that seems to be his bread and butter, like he's learning the job at 250 Broadway. Multiple arrests per week before like 9 a.m. typically. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys who do these larcenies, they're trying to get heroin. So they go super early in the day. Heroin is an early morning thing. I've learned being a police officer. So they want to make the larceny, flip the products, and then buy heroin. Sometimes it's like done by like 10 a.m. Like you can't buy more.
Is heroin still a big?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
Is there,
Heroin is.
it doesn't seem to be it's a problem still, but it's not the same for the CVS that's down the block.
217.
Tomorrow in
Yeah.
New York, there will be lots of clouds with a high of 51 degrees.
I'm just, anecdotally, it's like, I feel like that CVS is kind of later in the day.
Mm.
I don't know why. I mean, the train station pops out right next to 250 Broadway. Even though the Fulton station is there, maybe they go south. I don't know why, but you're right. 250's always been a thing with us. We have a great relationship with RSAT, the manager of that store. He's the first guy who got my cell phone number. When I got my NYPD phone, I think he gave me my personal number. So we have a good relationship with them. I don't know why that store particularly, you're right. You're 100% right. That one's always.
Well, if it's right next to the, train station, they can just run right there.
Yeah,
and
but
they
like-
disappear.
Like you mentioned, like CVS is a block away from the big Fulton Center, and that's never had as much volume of crime. They're newer also, but, yeah, no, 250 Broadway, we absolutely focus on.
Have you seen a reduction in crime at Target?
Yes, we actually have. We had a big, Manhattan South Target meeting yesterday, as a matter of fact, to make sure we're all on board. They have a really, really good identification system. That's kind of the problem, but good way to do it.
Chime in.
Peter's office has been really good with Target in particular, changing the larcenies into burglaries, which, has a heavier penalty and kind of keep these guys out. Because,
So what's the difference between larceny and
so
burglary?
you get a petty larceny, and if someone steals like a cell phone, and cell phone's under $1,000, that's a petty larceny. They get 2, 3, 4 petty larcenies, let's say cell phones keep the price, the same. They sold like $4,000 worth of merchandise. Obviously, if that $4,000 is done in one shot, you would get a grand larceny to a felony. As a matter of fact, you get grand larceny, I believe, in the third degree, it's over $3,000. So you'd have a heavier potential penalty because the crime is higher. But because they're doing these little one hits, when it comes to judges and what the DA's office can even ask for, they're petty larceny. So if this person gets trespassed, like they get a formal trespass notice from the store, and the DA's office helps train Target on how to do it properly, so we can, hold this person's feet to the fire. That same petty larceny can now get bumped up when they come in again because they've trespassed and done a crime while trespassing. That's pretty much the definition of burglary.
What does trespassing?
Higher. Don't worry about it. The trespass makes it a burglary.
No, but what kind of penalty do they have?
The exact days and months, that's, the D's office, but it's higher than petty larceny.
Peter,
Felony.
anything to add to, like, how much they
I
get?
don't know if the woman was saying is about, it's always been available for the trespass notice, but we've refined it recently. So trespass notice is basically is Target, if somebody is always habitually stealing from Target, Target can apply a trespass notice to say, you ma'am, you're not allowed in this store anymore. It's documented, so the next time they can come back and they get caught, we can create the charge from petty larceny, which is a misdemeanor, not a bail eligible offense. Burglary is a felony offense. And by being able to charge the person as a felony is more avenues to try to prosecute. If not prosecute, even try and give them help. Okay? If they need drug addiction help, something like that. As a felony, we may be able to compel them for services. As a misdemeanor, we can only suggest the services. Okay? Now, give examples right here in the district. Say, Target has improved, okay? We've run 5 trespass trainings, and we're geared towards law enforcement, we're geared towards the retailers, okay? Target came, embraced it, took our suggestions, took it back up to Minneapolis, and got it approved, and you see some results. I reached out to Dwayne Reed, they couldn't make it. Okay, we're gonna do another one. We usually work with the business improvement districts. We're reaching out to the downtown Alliance next and the Soho Broadway bid. They're fighting for.
Who gets it?
Who gets it?
Right.
Oh, okay. So those are the things, I can talk about here. I have a question and I can talk into my next topic.
Which Dwayne Reed did you reach out to? Because there's one on Greenwich Street, and Harrison Street.
Everybody is Arthur's friend, 250 Broadway.
Yeah, right.
We reached out to Arthur, Arthur reached out to corporate, loss prevention. So we tried to reach out to all of them, we're gonna keep trying. Okay, if they want to join, we're basically streamlining the process. You probably read a lot about it recently in the press, but Optimist had a very good article about what we did. So if you want to know more about it, read the article in Optimist.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope. All right. Thank you. Let me just, anyone online?
You wanna ask one?
Put my hands up.
To get a question?
No?
I was gonna wait, I was gonna talk about discovery, but I'll let the topic finish first.
Okay. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Peter, you want to say something about Discovery?
Yeah, well, you've read in the press right now, the governor and the budget and the 5 district attorneys in New York are suggesting some reforms or adjustments to the discovery law. DB1 was nice enough to have us like 2 or 3 weeks ago at the executive committee, and we gave our presentation. Right now, changes to the discovery laws are being discussed in the budgetary process. And sort of, information comes out and we did, you've got enough information for us, so when we increase support, we presented these to all the community boards in Manhattan, which is our jurisdiction. Just here to answer any questions.
What's the discovery?
Discovery will be changing laws where we're compelled to give the defendant materials in relation to the case. When discovery reforms happened in 2019, there's a little loophole there. Where now the defense attorneys can look for any, I think it's an I not dotted or a T not crossed and get a case dismissed. But dismissals have gone up to 40% and 60%. What's happening? If you look at the New York Post yesterday, it illustrated a case where it was a domestic violence case. dismissed because whatever you're renting, he's asking for directive on a case that wasn't even related to the case involved. And it got dismissed. Now, victim has no recourse. Because the case got dismissed, the victim can't even get an order of protection. Yes, she's in business. So we're trying to highlight, we need to find it. Hope it's for the community.
Well, we did have it, I remember you coming to, tomorrow night, you know, as executive committee meeting again.
Yeah, but we went last month, so if you need help, we're available.
Right, okay, great, great.
Thank
Thank you, thank you. All right, we're gonna move on because we wanna get through this agenda as quickly as possible. So, Burbank Jail, you're on, and Laura is online.
Okay, yes, great.
Yeah,
Start.
so I don't know who wants to start.
Okay, I'll start. So hi, everybody. For anyone who doesn't know me yet or doesn't remember, I'm Lauren Desir. I'm the Community Outreach Manager for the Borough-Based Jails Program. I'm a consultant on behalf of DDC. I'm here in the room tonight with Katharina Utami, also on my outreach team, and Scott Krokoff from Gramercy, the contractor that's been doing the dismantle of the existing facility. Before we jump into the presentation and the slides, I just want to ask anyone else who's online and is part of the Borough-Based Jails team, if you are one of the people who might want to be able to unmute and speak during Q&A, please, I think, raise your hand virtually so that Zach can move you over.
Yes.
That can happen while we're doing the presentation, I think,
I
right?
can't jump back and forth,
Oh, okay, all right, everybody.
so do it now.
BJ team, hope you're all paying attention at this moment. If you need to speak during Q&A, or the possibility of maybe speaking during Q&A, please raise your hand virtually so Zach can move you over.
Noah?
Here we go, we got it now, thanks. Okay. All right. Start
Great, thanks, Zach.
back.
So we're here tonight, we're primarily giving updates as usual on the progress of the dismantle project that's been going on. But we'll also foray a little bit into kind of previews of what's upcoming for the new facility. So I know there's a lot of curiosity about that. Oh, thank you. I have control power, okay. I just turned to the agenda. So we'll start with updates about what's been happening on the site since the last time we met. It's been a couple of months now. We'll talk about community engagement and resources, and then I'll turn it over to Laura Dodge, our independent environmental monitor, who can also share her observations and updates about what's been happening on site. And then we'll touch a little bit on, we're not here tonight to present about and talk about the design for the new facility. We're not in that phase of the contract yet, but we'll talk a little bit about, give people an idea of what will be upcoming as far as engagement when we're ready to get
So
started.
also not our committee, the design talk.
Exactly, but just, I know there's just been a lot of questions about it in the past, we just have a couple quick slides, we'll be really
That's
quick, but just so people know that we will be engaging and where those opportunities will come into play. And then we'll open it up for questions. So quick overview, the good news is, I think for the relief of a lot of community members who have been around the site, we are really just wrapping up what's been going on for the dismantle. We're pretty much complete, it's been kind of minimal work activities out on site. So Gramercy is still wrapping up waterproofing of the Chung Pak building, finishing, completing that work, and wrapping up the completion of the South Tower dismantlement. Is mostly debris removal at this point. One thing that's new that we did want to flag for everybody, so Gramercy, and Scott's going to talk a little bit in more detail about this in a moment. Gramercy is going to be doing some of preliminary borings, so geotechnical and environmental borings, on behalf of the future design builder who will be coming on board. This is to help them get some of the preliminary site validation and site investigation work out of the way so that they have this information in hand and ready to go when they start their project. So we'll talk a little bit about what that entails and what people are gonna see and hear out on site when that's happening. Yes. And then just as an update, we are referring to the future facility, NTP, for anyone who doesn't know, that stands for Notice to Proceed. That's when the facility design builder will officially be under contract and ready to enable to start work. we're anticipating, we don't have a firm date for that yet, but we're looking at probably end of April, maybe early mid-May. And as soon as we have a final date for that, we'll let everybody know.
They will start the procedures the end of April, beginning of May?
And they're not gonna start construction, it's not gonna be
No, no,
shovels
but-
in the ground, but we have the
Project,
design
yeah,
phase to start
yeah.
first, and that's what we'll talk about with the upcoming design
Okay,
engagement.
that
Yeah.
early, okay.
All right, so Scott, turning it over to you.
Sure.
Site updates.
Yeah, so we have a overview of the site. You can see it's mostly empty. We've got some equipment on site. We've been working on the north side, the chunk pack, finalizing some of the waterproofing efforts there. And then on the other side, we have some remaining work on the courthouse and the very south side of the site, as well as some small removals remaining. But like we said, that's nearing completion. So this is what, we just mentioned was the preliminary borings. So on site, a subcontractor's gonna come in with drill rigs to do, borings on site to give, the soil characteristics to the, new design team that's gonna take over for the new build.
Just tell us what a drill rig is.
So, yeah, there's a attachment, on essentially like a large excavator, and it's got a long, like piston looking thing.
It's hollow.
And it's gonna drill. It's not a hammer, it's a
Right.
drill, so it's much quieter than a hammer process. To drill down in the soil so that we could get those soil characteristics over to the new
So
design
it
team.
pulls out a chunk of soil.
Exactly, and then they could take samples of it so that they could make designs for the foundations for the new build.
And how many borings or holes they have to,
They're scattered throughout the work area, all within the site. Off the top of my head, I believe there's about 75.
and how much noise does it make?
It does make a little humming as it drills, but again, we'll be continuing
It's
to
more
mod,
humming and
that
not
not,
pounding.
exactly. So it's a drill, not a hammering process, which helps with the noise.
Is there dirt that is released into the air?
So there's, it's gonna be wet drilled, so, that'll be minimal and contained within the site, and, we'll continue to monitor that as well. The entire monitoring that we've had throughout the entire, project is gonna be remain throughout this work as well, so we
And
have,
about what's the circumference of the hole?
I believe it's either 6 or 8 inches.
Okay. And do you have to fill that hole in once you drill it?
It does, yeah, it gets grouted, so you get down to the bottom, take all the samples, and then they go in and they grout that hole.
And does that make any noise to fill it in?
The minimal noise, yeah.
All right, thank you.
And, that's anticipated to start in early April, and it should take approximately 8 weeks to complete that work. So this is a slide that, people who've been here before are familiar with. It shows all our monitors for the community that are around, the vibration monitors, as well as their air quality and sound monitors. There's
They'll
no,
stay in place?
those will stay in place, yeah.
And when is it anticipated that they'll be removed, if at all?
And there's potential that that's gonna be transferred over to the new contractor, but they have the ability to hire a different contractor as well.
Which
But
then you would
that's-
have to take out these monitors and they'd have to bring a new monitor?
Yes,
But
so,
there will be, before any construction work starts under the new contract, there will also be a full environment. So whether it's these exact same monitors, as Scott said, or they switch over to a different contractor, there will be a full environmental monitoring program in place, and we'll make sure that we update the community and let you know exactly what's gonna be in place and where and how many, and we'll continue with our reporting
Are you
process.
staying on?
Yes,
Okay, so how long will you be on?
I think you've got me for a long time.
Continuity is great, yeah. You may not like it. Continuity is great. So the other question is not about any of this drilling or anything. What about, rodent, mitigation?
through the end of our contract, we're continuing to, have the exterminator come out and do bait his traps and do his report each month.
And so when your contract is over, which is at the end of the boring, right?
At the end of the boring session.
Right. So then what's gonna happen about rat mitigation?
So the new facility contractor will be responsible for, once they take over the site, that's theirs, and it's theirs to maintain.
And there'll be
So
no lapse of time?
I don't believe so in the rodent and pest control, but that's something we'll make sure that we speak to about them and provide you guys with an update.
Great,
From
thank you.
yeah.
This is just a slide from a previous that we've relocated the monitors based off the site conditions as sidewalk sheds were removed. And they're, as you see, they're directly near the Chunk Back building. So it most accurately records all the data. This is a sample of our monthly monitoring report that many of you are familiar with. We continue to do real-time checks throughout the day. We have live data. Technicians are on site several times a week to check the monitors are running, swap batteries and things like that. And the community liaison, as well as Excel and Laura Dodge, can always check the real-time monitoring at any point if any community members have any questions. During the months of January and February, there are no exceedances in the air quality. There are also no exceedances in noise monitoring or vibration monitoring. Obviously, people that are in the area have seen there's less activity on site as we're nearing completion here.
Okay, and then we'll pause before I get to updates about engagement for the design and what's upcoming. Laura, if there's anything you want to share this time?
Well, just
Yes.
before.
Yes, can you hear me
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, Laura, hold on one second.
Yeah. Can you talk as if the contract has been signed, but we know as a fact, if there is no contract?
Yeah.
That has been approved of, correct, Lauren?
The contract has not been registered yet. That's once that is finalized and fully registered, that's what determines our notice to proceed date.
Right, and the amount, we went, a couple of us, my sister was in the room, we went in to look and read at this contract, which was missing a very significant portion, which is all the values, allocate how much was going to go to like the riskiest portion of this project, which is like sedation and foundation. I'm assuming that the 75 borings that you guys are going to be doing will address that portion of the contract, or is that not included in 3.62 million? That's 3.67 billion, sorry, that was,
That's a good question. Let me confirm, because I know, Gramercy is performing that work. I'm not sure if that's part of that future contract or if it's something that's totally separate. Let me confirm and get back.
so, but yeah, but I mean, if the results of the boring tests will indicate how you're gonna proceed with the excavation.
Yes, they'll be informing the design of the future.
Right, and so that is, you do not know that's included in that 3.67.
I can confirm it later.
So we don't know anymore.
No, the 3.76 that is the budget. That's the amount allocated for the future facility.
Well, when we read it, it said that, in the contract, it specifically stated that it's not taking into account certain conditions. So we're assuming that these borings are going to, clarify.
Okay, I'll confirm.
It would be good to know. All right, do you know when the contract or what's left, in order for this contract to get approved? Is it just these borings that we're waiting for, or?
No, the borings are not, the new contract getting approved is not contingent upon these borings. It's going through the procurement process. It needs to be submitted formally to the comptroller's office for contract registration. And that's just part of any procurement process the city goes through.
Okay,
So again, we are anticipating, I don't want to speak out of turn, but we're confident at this point that this is moving forward, this will proceed, and we're expecting our notice to proceed later this spring. So we're looking at probably late April or early May.
when we, a few of us who went to review the contract, it was also stated that the excavation and foundation would be extremely risky to the, buildings that are around of the block. So on Baxter Street, where all the tenement buildings are, and so, Pack is very dangerous all around the block. And that you would have to do monitor, obviously, to make sure nothing happens to those buildings. Have you factored in that we're gonna need an independent monitor like Laura Dodge as part of,
So as part of the contract, there will be environmental monitoring, just as there was when Gramercy was doing this. At the moment, there is no budget for a second, third-party independent monitor. I know that this is something that the community is very interested in. I believe the elected officials are working on potential proposals for how to make that happen, but.
Because we'd like to keep Laura on.
Yes, an assembly member, Grace Lee's family is here. Who was, yeah, who helped us out, kind of monitor, so we're hoping that that gets factored in, especially since it's so much bigger.
Do you know that the elementary school, it was an elementary school or kindergarten?
It's a, like a child, it's a, yes, daycare.
Are they moving back ever?
I'm not sure, Jill, do you think they're there? Yeah. They're at the Chung Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They moved out, yeah.
It was the healthcare, it was the Chinatown Health Clinic that actually had to move out. While they,
But I thought the daycare also moved out.
and they, I don't know, Lauren, are they still
I
there?
believe the daycare is still there.
Oh, I thought it was the daycare. So it was the health center that moved out?
Yes.
They moved some services.
Yes.
So again, are they back or they're gone? Is it just
They had to
displaced?
spend a lot of money to relocate
Right.
on school, and now they're hoping to come back.
And were they compensated in any way? Okay. That's-
It's not just, you know, the dental service is still there, but all the others have gone.
Okay, so now we're gonna get Laura. Are you finished here?
Yeah, I don't, yeah, for now.
That's it?
Am I allowed to ask?
Any questions?
Am I allowed to ask?
Sure.
Okay. The borings, how deep are they gonna go?
The borings, they vary in depth depending on,
Right.
off the top of my head, I believe they range from 40 to about 130 feet.
So the deeper it is it gonna be more disruptive? Or be more sound and noise issues and dust issues?
No, it's just a matter, it's just a longer process for that specific hole.
And then you said 75 boring to be done, so.
Yeah, so that's just spot that
How much you anticipated boring per day done?
The entire process is estimated to be about 8 weeks, so
Yeah.
if anyone can do that, it's maybe 10-ish per week.
Does weather interfere with the process?
Unless there's extreme weather, no, but it's not very weather dependent.
So it's pretty much, we'll be on time.
It'll be during normal business hours, before the schedule.
Yes, so during normal 7:30, 7 AM, 3:30.
That's good. Thank you. Okay, Laura, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, how are
Hi.
you?
Good, thank you. So I just want to say good evening, everyone. And yes, so just to confirm, as Lauren said, and Scott, we've been continuing to monitor. There's been no exceedances of the air quality, dust, or noise related to construction. The noise recordings are pretty much picking up background traffic and other activities near the courthouse, but nothing that's been attributed to the construction during the month of February and then also March to date. So we did conduct an inspection on March 12th to just check out what everything was looking like, because the month of February was basically ice and snow cover and the ground was extremely hard. Everything was fine in terms of our real-time, instantaneous monitoring of noise levels on site, dust levels on site, as well as around the perimeter during our site inspection. There really wasn't much going on at the site, and that's been, as these guys have indicated, the work has been very limited in the past month, a month and a half compared to, previous months. So it's just the waterproofing and then some work on the infills at the courthouse side. The one thing that we did note though, Scott, is that, the ground surface is starting to get, because of all the crushed concrete that's down there and with the drier periods of time and the windiness, we were wondering whether or not there was going to be another application of the ground glue to try to solidify that, especially with your moving a drill rig around. So that's one of the questions that I had. And then the other is there a work plan for the soil boring program? I would assume that there's some type of protocol for handling cuttings and I'd be interested in seeing the kind of drilling method that's being used if you're going down to 130 feet. It sounds more like a rotary operation than an auger operation. Like a mud rotary or something like that. You said it was a wet drilling method. So I'm not sure if that Do you know what the drilling method is that they're proposing to use?
I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm not a drilling expert. We hired a subcontractor that does
Right.
this in the city and is very well respected in the field. But in terms of the specific questions, I'm not, I don't have
Would
those answers.
augury make more noise than augury?
Well, it really depends on a number of factors, so that's why I'm asking the question. So I guess number one, is there a work plan of some kind, some type of written protocol? And just if someone can, it doesn't have to be right now, but if you can provide us with, provide me with the information on the drilling method. Like I said, a wet drilling method would not be an auger. It would be more like a rotary.
Details.
I'm sorry.
Getting ready, right, She's finalizing the details and getting ready to start that work, and as soon as we have the finalized plans to share with you, we'll make sure that we get that over to you guys, as we have it.
Yeah, that's fine. And like I said, it's not, you said it's April, May, so there's still time for that.
Yeah.
You share that,
So-
with the board,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry, he was asking me, I'll double check and make sure it's not something that we have to foil for, but we're happy to, one way or the other.
I mean, our main concern is how much noise and how much dust.
Absolutely.
And again,
Yeah,
we're
I mean-
continuing to monitor throughout the whole process, so you know.
Yeah, I think it's just
So-
advisable.
so-
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying.
No, sorry. So I was just saying, I think it's advisable given the fact that the whole site is basically covered with crushed concrete. And again, it has been relatively stable and hard. And like when you walk across it, there's no kicking up of dust. But if you're going to be moving equipment around the entire site, it's something to consider, try to minimize and get ahead of it. Obviously, there's still the best management techniques to keep things moist, which will help significantly. So, and from the sounds of it, 7.5 borings going down as deep as 130 feet. It does sound like, you can maybe get, depending upon the depth of each boring, you can maybe get 2 to 3, maybe 4 a day, which kind of fits with the 8 weeks of drilling. So basically that's all I have for tonight is, I just would like to see the specific procedures that are being used for the drilling and, have a better idea of, technique so we can gauge, sort of, and, prepare a discussion a little bit more informed on possible issues of noise and dust generation.
Laura, when does the contract expire?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
When does your contract expire?
Well, technically speaking, it was over 6 months and we still have funding remaining. So I was asked just briefly, if we would have the sufficient resources to cover this task and we would. So, but I have to circle back with DDC and obviously they have to make the final call on that.
You need
But,
8 weeks of boring.
yeah, that's a 2-month time frame. I believe we would still have sufficient resources, yes, in the existing contract.
Okay, great. And then is there something that we can do to try to encourage that you be hired to continue?
I'm not sure if that question's for me, but the contract duration was 6 months. So November, December, January, February, March, that goes through April. So, yeah. And I guess it would be DDC's call, yeah.
Let us know.
I appreciate it.
Like
Yes,
you
I will.
continue on the project.
Yep. I shall do.
I heard that there wasn't any exceedances of air pollution attributed to the site. And I remember reading around where there was an exceedance at one point in the site, is that correct?
I'm sorry, is that a question for me?
Yeah. I thought
I'm sorry.
there was an exceedance of air pollution during this last time period, but it was not the site. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have not seen any air quality exceedances due to, or any, are you talking dust?
Yes.
We haven't seen any dust level exceedances for the month of March. I'm sorry, for the month of February through March. And then in previous reports, we indicated that there were a periodic, very short-lived ones due to predominantly like an instrument a piece of equipment being used too close to a monitor and that without the use of water, those kinds of things. And that was, I think that was back in January.
Okay, so,
In the month of February and March to date, we have not seen anything.
so we had, one of them is actually facing the site right now on the Trump side. And we've seen multiple instances throughout this time period.
Of which criterion?
Of the PS,
PM,
PM 2.5. So what,
Yeah. Well, PM 2.5 is, I know that there's been some discussion of monitoring for PM 2.5 on the Chungpak side based on your group doing that. We're talking the ground, monitoring the camp programs that monitor up to PM 10. PM 2.5 should be subsumed or covered in that PM 10 number.
right, I understand that. So my question is, in your professional opinion, what is the discrepancy between our air monitor, which is facing the site directly, and consistency, the time period versus camp are not seeing those what that discrepancy in your professional?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we haven't been, actively monitoring anything beyond the camp data, the Vibra Analytics data, because that's what our work scope is focused on and geared to. So I really can't comment specifically about what might also be contributing to what you're reading in your monitors. But I mean, one of the challenges I think with just adding in 2.5, not in the same locations as the camps are monitoring, is that it could be picking up influences from, ambient air quality. Now that may or may not be the case. We'd have to look harder at where the monitors are, what the, elevation is that the monitors are located in relationship to the camp stations, which are more at breathing level. So, the community air monitoring plan is geared towards, inhalation for residents and community members. So as you're walking around the perimeter of the site, as you're on the site, as you're, walking around the outside of the site on the sidewalk level. And that is the standard approach for a community air monitoring plan, to set the air intake for the dust monitors at the breathing level. So that typically it's always at like about 5 feet above grade, maybe a little bit taller, sometimes a little, lower than that, in like, for instance, if you had a school located immediately across the street, you might lower the intake a little bit to be more of a child's height, but it isn't standardly done to elevate the monitors. So I think that for the appropriate interpretation of the data, it's best to start off the air monitoring plan with either 2.5 and PM 10 together being recorded and monitored, so you can compare and contrast and better understand what's going on. Or just be doing, PM 10, which would include PM 2.5, because so the particle size is what's the difference. So between 2.5 microns and 10 microns. So 10 microns is obviously larger diameter particle than 2.5 would be, right? Because 2.5 is smaller than 10. So if you have a monitor that's recording particle sizes up to 10 microns, any particle size of less than 10 microns would be captured in that reading. So you should be seeing levels at the ground level, at breathing level in the camp stations that are equivalent to anything else that's being recorded at just PM 2.5. Actually, the PM 2.5 number should be slightly lower than what the PM 10 numbers are. So if the PM 2.5 numbers are higher, then we would have to look at why is that the case, and where they're located could be one of the reasons. So if they're higher up in elevation, is that because of wind circulation? Is it because of traffic? Is it because of vehicular emissions? Is it because of something else that we're not seeing because we're not really looking at that data and it's not being collected at the same time that at the same location that the camp data are being collected? So there's a lot of variables here that, from a trying to interpret the data perspective, it would be good to sort of have a more normalized monitoring plan. And, that could be discussed.
Okay, I'm sorry. On the other side, if most of the cities in Lower Manhattan are seeing similar of high PM readings, purple X community website, you can see all the purple monitors registered. They're showing like across downtown red, and yet the camp readers are not. What do you think that is saying? We're talking about like air monitor downtown are showing orange or red, and you can't monitor.
Well, I would, again, without having the benefit of monitoring it on a regular basis like we are with the camp data, it's hard for me to pinpoint what the rationale is. The PM10 is a safety level for worker safety. The PM 2.5 is an ambient air quality standard. So they're two separate standards. So in general, for public health, the city would monitor, the state, the NOAA, NIOSH, a number of different agencies monitor for PM 2.5 as a general ambient air quality standard. So that's why there would be data for other parts of the city even. So locally, you can get a reading of ambient air quality. And there's a lot of contributing factors that can go into that, are, if you're seeing readings upwind, for instance, then chances are it's related to other activities and nothing to do with the site. If it's immediately adjacent to the site, I can't comment on whether it's due to the site or not because of where the monitor is located and the fact that it's not co-located with the camp monitors. So this is the kind of thing, again, that if 2.5 is going to be looked at in addition to PM10, that's a discussion that would have to take place, separately to try to look at, does it make sense to do that? And is that something that should be done? Because otherwise, because the monitors are not in a location that we can continuously monitor and compare to the camps, it's hard to determine and make any definitive correlation. So that's why I'm trying to be, careful that we don't ignore it, but that we consider how best to interpret it. And from where I'm sitting right now, I just don't have the information to be able to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Laura, I know after every report you make, you give these great recommendations, and as a follow-up to what you're saying here, it would help, wouldn't it, if we had handheld monitoring on the site, so that can correlate what's going on within the site with what's reading, let's say, with the community monitors. Isn't that what you had recommended in all your reports?
Yes, it is. And that is, and it's one of the reasons why I recommended it is because when you're working on site, that would be, if work on site is going to result in any level of particulate, airborne particulate, if it's going to kick up anything right in the immediate work area, without having monitoring right there, and you can't have camp stations every 2 feet across the site. It's not practical, and it wouldn't be it would never be done that way. So what you typically do is you have your perimeter camp stations, your community air monitoring stations that are fixed, like the ones that are out there today. And they're continuously monitoring, and they're like you never want to have exceedances at those perimeter air monitoring stations. And they're there just to be sure that the community is not receiving any elevated levels of dust above the action level. So the on-site monitoring is what informs the best management practices. So that you would have your handheld monitors getting noise and dust levels right where the work is going on. And so if anything happens that results in an elevated dust level or noise level right where the work is happening, then you can then assess whether you need to do an adjustment to your work practice immediately. You don't need to stop and go running over to the camp and do all that. You just immediately adjust your work so that the idea is you prevent the generation of something that could get offsite, whether it goes offsite laterally or whether it gets entrained in air or in wind and can travel farther. And that is standard practice. It's not something that we're just saying, oh, it would be nice to do this. It enables information to be generated that is not worrisome. And this is important for everybody here to understand. When you're working on a site and you are generating or doing activities that are going to potentially generate dust or noise, that's not uncommon for construction. It's not uncommon at all. It's to be expected. What's important is to prevent it from getting entrained in the air and moving beyond the work zone. And same with noise. You want the noise to be contained and minimized. So the on-site monitoring helps inform what's going on at site. But if those levels come back in the immediate work area, in the center of the site, let's say, or over in, over by one of the buildings, the community shouldn't be worried about that elevated concentration occurring right in the middle of the site or on the site during the normal performance of the work. It shouldn't be alarming if that happens, because what should happen then is best management practice get put into place. It's reduced back down again, and then the camp monitoring around the perimeter shows that nothing did leave the site. It's what leaves the site that is of, focus for the protection of the community, not necessarily what occurs on site. So to say that you think that there might be a concern over people, over the community getting upset or over alarmed because of an on-site exceedance during work in a work zone, that's really not in my professional opinion, that's not the way to manage it. But the community does need to understand that there are going to be higher levels of dust in the immediate work zone when someone's working on something that's dust generating. And that's why you have the best management practices, the use of the water cannon, wetting of things, the use of the ground glue, other ways in which to minimize, changing the use of the equipment, changing the protocols. That's what's supposed to happen to keep it on site. So
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I've got to move. You had one.
Thank you, Laura. None of the recommendations were ever taken up, right? They were not taken up by the demolition. Laura, were they?
no, my understanding is that they're just relying on us to keep doing the monitoring and remotely watching the Vibrant Analytics and then periodically doing our site inspections.
That's nice.
Right. And I do want to stress that, even though our site inspections have been infrequent, when we have been on site, we haven't noticed anything on site that was over any action level. So it's important to know that. That doesn't mean that if work resumes again, that there may not be an activity that might generate some dust or some noise on site. The question is to keep it on site. And that's why monitoring on site helps. And I don't mean on site meaning it's right on the property boundary on site. I mean in the heart of the site. Because again, that is standard practice to be able to understand what is actually going on the site.
Laura, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We
That's
really
all right.
appreciate you coming and,
No problem.
but we've got to move. So again, anything that we can do to ensure your contract continues, we are here to do it, so let us know. Lauren?
Thank you.
Lauren, thank you. We doing okay? Okay.
If you want, and we could wrap this up, it was basically just to, sorry, there's an echo. Basically just to let everyone know that the facility contractor is on board, again, which we said is, gonna be later this spring. There will be a series of design engagement workshops with the community. We have a general plan for that. We'll be back again. We'll talk many
Yeah.
times before that happens.
Right.
So I think we can, if you guys want, you
Yeah,
can move on to
it's
the next
a month
agenda.
after, March, April.
Yeah.
May.
Okay.
Counted in my head. Yeah, so May. So let's see, what happens with the boring, and of course, everybody in the community is gonna keep their eyes on it, and Laura, you will let us know if there's anything that we should be aware of.
Yes,
So
thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Have a good night.
What's that?
I want to talk.
Huh?
This is,
Who's
this
that?
is, this is, this is your friend John Alpert in the firehouse. We've had a recent scare having to do with our foundation, and I want to share this with the board.
Who is it?
This is John Alpert from DCTV, your friend. Can you see me?
So I'm sorry, you've had a recent scare?
I didn't have a Me Too scare. We have a foundation scare. So we get crack monitoring thanks to Gramercy. Unfortunately, because of the way in which there was some lack of transparency in the early process, we also have parallel monitoring from another engineering firm. And last month, we failed our building inspection due to cracks in the foundation. Gramercy was supposed to come subsequently to check this. They've canceled the last few visits.
Who are you communicating with?
Who am I communicating with? Sade is in communication with somebody from Gramercy, from Vibra, whatever that is. And they've been postponing the subsequent visits, but it's not so much.
Analysis, so getting back out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
You
So
email, send an email to our community construction liaison, because this is not something that we're in the loop on, so we can, if there's something that needs to be done, we can help with that process, but we need you to send an email to Nikita, our CCL.
So we've been communicating with the Vibra Analysis people. We're happy to send other emails. What I'd like to share is a few bits of additional information. Our engineering firm, Muser Rutledge, came and analyzed the crack, found that that there's probably not a need for mitigation of this particular crack, but recommended as we go forward, especially with impending construction, that we engage in quite a bit of extra work and cost here to plaster in certain things. They felt that this would be the best way to see whether or not other parts of the building were being impacted. So we face this additional cost, but the thing that was sort of interesting today is, as you're talking about your boring, it reminds us all that there's probably going to be dewatering. Dewatering is what has caused the firehouse to collapse in the past. We have certain parts of the building that are very vulnerable to dewatering. And as we talk about being informed about what's going to be happening in construction, the thing that we're most concerned about, because it's an existential threat to our building, is dewatering. Yep.
What's dewatering?
Laura, tell us what dewatering is, please.
Sure, dewatering is if there's excess water on site or seepage up from the groundwater table, it's the process of removing that water from the site.
But with the boring, you're just watering to keep the dust,
Correct.
just
But when
watering.
when they build foundations, they often dewater. And this is a site in which the water table is.
Okay, John, hold on a second.
Yeah, if I may, again, once we have the facility contractor on board and before we begin construction activities, like some of the things that John is referring to here, we will have them out to meet with the community. We'll be able to walk everyone through what processes and procedure, just like we did at the start of dismantle. We'll let everyone know what's gonna be taking place on site, what's gonna be happening, what the sequence of events are. I'm happy to have the facility contractors, and their engineers here to directly answer some of these questions.
And will you get back to John then, and Scott about what's going on with whatever
So,
issue?
yeah, John, again, if you can send an email to manhattanccl@bbjnyc.com and make sure our team is in the loop, we'll look into this for you, but I'm not sure, again, I don't know who you've been speaking to, but this is the first I'm hearing about it, so please make sure that our CCL team is alerted to this concern.
Okay, and I'm just expressing our terror if the past way in which all the information was shared and only shared when we were banging, and when you were slipping around certain corners, we're terrified.
All right, and Franny, what was it?
Yeah, I mean, the watering process is a big deal. I mean, it is brought up, Vera and them, they saw it in the contract, as mentioned. I think it is something that needs to be addressed in the contract before it's signed. I mean, and here's a perfect example. I mean, what if, it's mentioned, but there's no resolution, and you guys are just gonna go ahead and sign the contract? I mean, I think it should be addressed before the contract's signed.
And if you'll allow me, does anybody remember what the inclusion process was like in the design phase, when people were showing us things? Does everybody remember, would you like a brown bench or a green bench? If that's going to be replicated, that's also quite terrifying.
All right, well, I have to say the design phase is not in this committee, so that will have to be taken up in environmental. Was it environmental?
I think it's land use.
Land use.
Land use is where we presented
Yeah,
in the past
land
design,
use.
and there's a process we will absolutely be presenting to the land use committee as, certainly as part of the public design commission process.
But before that, John, if you would talk to John tomorrow and address his issue. Okay, John?
Sure, yeah, we'll look into.
That'd be great. Much appreciated, everybody. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
have a good night and good luck with
Great.
this issue.
Thank you, everyone.
Let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
This is your bag?
Oh,
Okay, so we have to move on. We have DDC is next. Hi, guys. How's everybody? Anyone that's here for, applications for street,
Dining out.
dining out?
Sidewalk cafes,
That's
roadway
got it.
cafes.
Yeah, okay. So you'll be the last on the agenda, so we're gonna give like 20 minutes to this and then you'll be.
Okay.
So by hopefully 7:30.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Great. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So we'll make it really short. Anything you want to tell us?
I mean, we do have a presentation prepared for you. I go on 3 projects. I'll start with Give Me Go. My name is Besher. I'm engineer in charge from the Department of Design and Construction. We're gonna have 3 projects to present for you. We're gonna start with the first project, which is reconstruction of West Street.
What is going on with Pleasant Street?
We have some good news.
You finished.
No,
Finish next week.
our projected completion date was pushed a little bit. Right now, we are anticipating the end of the year. If you remember, Pat, you did a site visit, Zach and Ken, and back then we were doing asbestos abatement. Reconstruction of West Street, the scope of it is upgrade the water main from 12-inch to 20-inch water main, upgrade the gas, install new catch basins, clean out manhole, redo the sidewalks, granite curb, and redo the street lights.
You were waiting for Con Ed, right?
Yes, back then we were waiting for Con Ed, I'm still waiting for Con Ed.
And they didn't come tonight, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw them.
yeah,
Express their
this
love.
is what we wanted. All right.
Yes.
So you're still waiting for them.
No, we finished one with a big deal. So last time we came here, we had an electrical default. We were on standstill. We could not do any work. The electrical default stayed for around 2.5 months. But then finally they came, they resolved the issue, and we're back doing speed fixing. So what we did so far, we finished almost 50% of the project. We upgraded the water main on the north side, the gas. We dropped 2 catch basins on each corner on Church and Bessie, and we installed a clean out manhole there. And then when we moved to the south side to start working on the granite curb, we found some shallow utilities, which is electrical utilities.
We saw those.
Yes, and when we, kind of, so we're trying to find a place to find it, they were doing test pits. Test pits is like some small excavation, just to get an idea what's in the ground, what's available for us to run a new part, what's not. When they did the test pits, they found that the steam encasement is broken into pieces. And with that, it comes some asbestos.
Asbestos.
Yes, so since then, we start all the operation and we put that as a priority is to clean the whole site from asbestos and,
Asbestos abatement.
yes.
So when is that gonna happen?
It's ongoing,
Okay,
it's
good.
ongoing. During the asbestos abatement, we found some exposed wires, which what Con Edison says electrical default, which can kill someone on the site. So that's why we had to stop for 2.5 months for Con Edison to come and find a solution. They came around like 18 visits to the site.
Wow.
Because first they have to ID that conduit, which manhole to which manhole, what kind of current it carries, and which service it's feeding. Some of them are for MTA that they have to be very careful, not interrupt the services. They were successful. I do have some dates here. The electrical default happened on October 30, and we got the resolution on January 18th. After we got the resolution, the Con Edison kept going, performing the asbestos abatement. And for asbestos abatement, just for everybody, we completely insulate the area with a big tent, and the crew does not leave the site until all the asbestos is clean. Recently, they were staying until 6:30, 7:30 p.m., from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. just to get this work done, because we know all of this work, the asbestos, the default was not part of our original contract. It's only when they did the space, they discovered that the steam has to be repaired. And for us, we allowed it because we don't want it after we done restoration, bringing everything clean, they come make another hole, it does not look good. So we told them, fix it, and there were some resistance from them, but at the end of the day, we had them do it, and we instituted another 3 months of asbestos and encasement of the steam. I do have some pictures. This is how the steam on the left picture, how the trench looks after all the asbestos, all the dirt is removed and encased, wrapped. And then the second and third picture shows the concrete encasement around the steam pipe.
Okay, so you think the new completion date is the end of the year?
Yes. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. The last part we do is the sidewalk, and cold weather sometimes affect our productivity. So this is the only portion, if we don't get lucky with the
We'll be
weather.
back.
Oh, definitely. I'll be there like in May and have a better, but just being like transparent about the original.
Can't pour concrete in the cold.
Exactly. So that's the only thing that might push it a little bit. And also, I believe we have Laura on the, online, our CCL. She's been coordinating with, 17 Broadway, they have a scaffold. We have 30 Bessie Street, they have a scaffold. And also 20 Bessie Street, they wanna come up with a new scaffold.
Yeah, because you told us when we went on the site visit that you were having trouble with the sidewalk because of this.
So right now, we are coordinating with the 3 buildings to find the window where the south side, where the north side does not have any scaffold. So we wanna go and give that block a new sidewalk.
So you're doing the north side sidewalk and the south side sidewalk, or just the north side?
South side is the church.
South side is.
So there's a sidewalk.
We are replacing the granite and one flag of sidewalk. The church has done the sidewalk, it's not that old, but once we do and replace the granite curb, because we are upgrading the granite curb, we have to do one flag of sidewalk, so there will be no trip hazard after we do.
But you're not replacing the whole sidewalk on the south side because they've done it.
Yes, some of it looks good, whatever our contractor damage, we will replace it and make it look.
Is there any relationship to practically every other weekend they've been doing drilling at Broadway and Broadway? Is there any relationship? Con Ed has been doing drilling there?
No, our limits are from Vesey, from Chair to Broadway.
Con Ed is all over Broadway and Park Row.
I saw that some place, yeah, around Brooklyn
Yeah.
Bridge, I don't know.
Park Road, yeah, that was a gas leak.
Yeah.
And they had to, emergency gas leak, and they had to ID it, they had to trench out, and replace a big section, and then fill it, and so they did that in about a week and a half. That
They're
was-
still there as of today.
They filled that whole.
They're doing something else then.
At Pace, they're doing something else, so it might be
In
that.
the street, in Park Row and
But it's Con Ed, so they're not-
between Spruce and Frankfurt, over that, they're doing.
Yeah, they might still have some stuff
I
there.
just wanna keep them, because it's Con Ed and
Yeah.
they can't come tonight, so we can't ask them. We've gotta move, so,
I think our,
That's the-
one more thing to Laura, I think it would be useful if we got some kind of notification, so I live in that building right there.
Which one?
I'm at Barclay Tower, so it's on the other side, but still it'd be useful if we got some kind of notification that there's like asbestos stuff going on. Just as an awareness thing for the community.
I don't know that notification normally goes out.
I mean, but it should.
It's abated, though, it's not, they have a protocol to abate,
But
so.
we should still just be aware that it's going on, because I mean, I walked that and I didn't have any kind of indication that there was an abatement going on or removal going on.
I mean,
Hi, this is Marlene Nunez from DDC's Outreach Office. We can speak with Con Edison and speak about possible notifications to the community regarding this work, for sure.
Okay, thanks.
and I believe Laura, during the newsletter says about the steam work and.
Do you get the newsletter?
Is that the one from your Philip?
Reports?
Yes, I get the one from Philip.
Hi, this is Laura, the CCL. I usually send my weekly bulletins and advisories and also newsletter to the 10 Barclay management office. I'm not sure if they distribute it to their tenants, but they usually do get my notifications as well.
Okay, I get 15 million emails from that building and I haven't gotten anything about that. So I can talk to them about that.
Because normally, they don't send out notification of asbestos.
So when we say asbestos, there would be no time that asbestos is exposed to the air.
Right.
Like we do not do anything until we take samples, they test the sample, they come back, then they put up the tent. You saw the tent and we could not see what's going on because it's
I
all
mean, I know.
closed,
I've
airtight.
been around it forever.
Yeah, you have a tent and you have a truck and do negative air pressure and all that.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty secure.
It's pretty much not exposed to the air ever unless there's some major catastrophe. All right, we need to move on. So
Yes. for
any
our-
other questions about VC Street? Anybody? All right, so we know now that pretty much towards the end of the year,
What?
we know that
The-
pretty much will be towards the end of the year.
Yes.
So we want to talk about Greenwich Street, our favorite.
I mean, we have Nassau Street and then we can jump to Grange.
You want to avoid Greenwich?
No, we have it there, definitely.
It's-
We do not have it.
He's just saying it's the order to decide.
That's fine. We can do that.
I believe for Nassau, we have Madeline Skoblik and we're in charge. She's online. Madeline, could you please
Madeline.
raise your hand? Move you.
Rosa's not on the line, is she?
Norbert as well, if you can move him, please. Thank you.
Oh, Lord. Right.
Good.
Good old Nassau Street.
All right. You're all there.
Just have it. Bad news.
Who are you kicking it to?
Norbert?
Yes. Hi, Bashir.
Hi, Norbert.
Hi, everybody. Actually, Sonia, we have a new CCL on board. Sonia Quinones. She's actually on the call as well. She's gonna talk about the project.
Hi, Sonia.
Was she moved to the panels?
Sonia? Okay, for time's sake, Norbert, can you give us some info?
Go ahead, Sonia.
Okay. Hi,
Hi, Sonia.
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. We're I just started on the project a few months ago. Took over from another CCL that was on the project. I don't know if you remember, I used to work on the Vestry Street project. We did the street reconstruction with the cobblestones, Pat.
Yep. Yep, hi.
Hi. So this project, we're currently working on Nassau Street between Cedar and Liberty.
Right.
They were doing, um, they've been relocating the ECS cables. They've also done some upgrades and replacements of 12-inch gas main. We're wrapping up hopefully soon with the gas main and the ECS cable relocations, so we can go ahead and backfill, pour concrete, and do some restoration, a temporary restoration of the roadway. We are looking to move then onto Pine Street to do some manhole work on Pine and Nassau, and also some electrical duct work. I've met, when I came on board, I met with the community, and I've gotten very positive feedback from them, and so far they're having.
Rosa?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, Sonia said you met with Rosa?
No, that I've been meeting with the community. I met with the community when I first came on board, and I've been meeting with them periodically, following up with them, checking in with them as to whether they're having any issues. And so far, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from them, and there haven't been any issues to report.
Right. That's that building on the corner of Pine and Nassau.
Well, right now, there's scaffolding at the Federal Hall, which is on the corner of Pine and Nassau, and then there's also scaffolding for 120 Broadway, the backside of 120 Broadway. I did reach out. I was in contact with the property management there, and they anticipate removing the scaffolding sometime by the end of this month or next month. There is, however, scaffolding that's going to be installed soon at 20 Pine. So they will have scaffolding on Cedar, on Nassau, and then eventually on the front part of their building. We did have a coordination meeting with our contractor and the property manager last week. And I just got an update from them today. They're still waiting to get finalization from DOB, and the contractor's still waiting for word from the property manager as to when they anticipate installing the scaffolding there.
Sonia, in what way will that affect your ability to complete the project?
That I will defer to Norbert, who's our resident engineer for the project for that.
So,
Hi,
Norbert,
Pat.
what do you think?
Hi, Pat.
Completion. Hi, how are you?
Hi. So we have had a couple issues with utility interferences between both Con Ed and ECS, like everybody else does downtown. So I think officially, I don't know, Sonia didn't want to bring it up, but I think we are going to have a time extension on the project where we're going to probably move into spring or most likely summer of 2026 for Nassau Street, just because of the utility interference that we have in the project. The scaffolding is also affecting our work because we have the scaffolding, like Sonia mentioned, on 120 Broadway. Now it's coming up on 20 Pine. We have the for the southeast corner of Pine and Nassau as well. So for the most part, we have a couple of roadblocks in terms of the scaffolding because of local law work from the city, but we also have an immense amount of work, utility interferences from both ECS and Con Ed.
Okay. All right. And we know with Con Ed, we know that they delay, so Why don't we, because I've got to move because we have a huge agenda tonight. So why don't we hear from you what's going on in May? How about that?
Okay,
Sound good. All right, thank you. Sonia,
thank you, Pat.
you'll update them. Thank you.
Thank you both. Now to Greenwich Street.
All right, good evening, everyone. Next, right, there we go. Thank you. My name is Phil Stafford, and I'm from the DDC's reconstruction of Grant Street. I was here in December, but I'll just give a kind of a quick overview of the job. People that haven't been here in a while. We're doing Greenwich Street from Barclay Street to Chambers Street. When the job is phased, we're doing all of the work on Greenwich from Barclay to Murray Street, restoring all of it before we go north of Murray Street. That way we can hand the street and the permits back to Bank of New York Mellon. They have private work they need to do as well. So our job is, total reconstruction, water main, sewer, all of our restoration work, and then of course we have a lot of utility work, Con Edison, ECS, which is Empire City Subway, the telecommunications.
You had the collapsed manhole too, right?
We had to rebuild a couple manholes. I have a picture of it. We have some good news. So I'll preface my presentation by saying we're probably in the best shape we've been in a while with utilities and everyone being on the same page. So current completion date is November 2026. That's for up to Chambers Street. Up to Murray Street should be August 2026. We're completed. We're about halfway done. That number always lags behind. It's based on payment. And we get to the restoration, there's a lot of money in that. 67%, 66% of the time elapsed, that's based off of our new dates. And you can see paid out about $9.1 million. And what we're doing right now is we're working to finish installing all of the new empty Con Edison ducts from manhole to manhole. Then they can pull cable, energize it, and say energize everything, and cut the old ducts out.
But is Con Ed there?
Con Ed is there. Con Ed is at Barclay and Greenwich almost every day. So they're taking the temporary wiring down, putting new things into the manhole while we're going south on Greenwich Street. Also ECS is there at Barclay and Greenwich, cutting their old stuff out. And we also, so a good way to put it is on the west side of Greenwich Street from Murray Street place to a little bit south of Park Place, we're done with all the underground work. So we put the traffic back there so we can work the west side from Park Place to Barclay and then do some work we have on the east side as well.
Sorry, say it one more time. From where to where?
So on the west side, on the Bank of New York Mellon side, from Murray Street, a little bit south of Park Place, there's like a newsstand there. The underground work is done. That means we have the water main in, we've moved everything out of the curb bump outs, and we just have basically one block to go on that side. And we still have to run the water main Con Ed on the east side of the street from around Park Place. And we have some sewer work and stuff like that.
And I just want to make sure Con Ed is not being given any opportunity to leave. They're going to stay until they finish.
That's the big thing. We have someone doing the splicing work, the wiring work at Barclay and Greenwich. And the plan is when he's done, he'll finish that and go to Murray Street between Greenwich and West Broadway, which was the original, one of our original manhole issues. So I have some pictures here.
Right.
Okay, so this is just Barclay, Greenwich Street. If you see like the wiring on the right-hand side, top right-hand side, that's all temporary. There's someone there working every day, putting it in the new manhole.
Right.
You can see a gentleman in his white tie-back suit there. He's cutting the old corroded.
Oh, he's sitting down here.
He's cutting the old corroded ducts so we can move those out of the way. That's all ECS. So we started there, but we have a lot of work going.
And this electrical work is not interfering with any of the businesses or the residents?
No, when they have to, the only time they do that is they have to do an outage and then they can do it in a way where they don't have to do anything else. It's all, it's basically getting rid of the temporary stuff right now. This is the west side of Greenwich between Park and Barclay, basically where we're up to. We put a new catch basin in. On the bottom, the black ducts is the new Con Ed. They chop out the old one when we get everything energized. Taking out the old water main. We had to do all of this just to get a catch basin in. And Queens, where I used to work, you could put a catch basin in a couple days. This would probably take a couple months at least.
And Philip, I'm going to interrupt you. You know I love all this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
geek. But we have a time constraint
Yeah,
tonight. So I would say we've got some new completion dates.
Yes.
What do we want to talk about? Remember last time we talked about right next to Fitterman Hall, being able to increase the walk space on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Because I almost fell.
So Since I've been here in December, we flipped the traffic to the other side. I think we have the best traffic pedestrian pattern we've had in a long time. We added a flagger, from the December meetings. We had 5 flaggers within 2 blocks. We added 8 streetlights. I think, you know, it's construction site, but we've done what we can and we've tightened stuff up. And my last slide, last picture to talk about that is the manhole that we had to rebuild on Murray Street, west of Grant Street, sat there for a year and a half. Medicine had a failure outside of our project. They actually had to come here and do something, so it moved it along, which was very.
Great.
Okay, any questions? That's just how the work breaks down in the original contract.
No, we'll ask you in May.
It doesn't seem like it's gonna be an issue, but I did want you to be cognizant, the election season starts again June 15th, through the 24th. We'll have people entering at Fitterman Hall. That includes not just the students that go there, but seniors, persons with disabilities, everybody's gonna need to be able to access that building.
Yeah, we put a flagger there and they remarked the crosswalk and everything, so we dealt with portion and any issues. And we're on board with the American Heart Association's 5K. We met with them, we're on a call next week. We'll tighten the side up. I'm still talking to Bank of New York Mellon, coordinating our work with theirs. They're doing like preliminary stuff around the site.
Okay, great. Anybody, any other questions?
You know, I'm gonna go look for those flaggers, because I've never seen 5 flaggers ever.
I don't either. I've seen.
But I'll look and I'll take pictures and I'll send them.
I've seen them.
5?
No, not
Did you
five.
say
I've
5
seen
flaggers? Did
eight.
you say 5?
No, he said 5.
There's 5 flaggers? So what does that mean? All 24 hours or what is it?
No.
5 flaggers at one time?
During the work hours.
But 5 at one time during the day?
Really? I've never seen 5 there. I haven't seen. They must be on break.
We have, so we have about 9.
On their cell phone.
All right, we'll have our eyes open to look for 5
Been
flaggers.
there, and I would remind everyone that being a flagger is a very difficult, dangerous job. And investigating.
And
Well,
what about the parking?
Parking, we told the contractor, don't park any private vehicles on site. They have a couple of commercial trucks that they can park, you know, it's just a pickup truck. But, like I said, I think everything was set up was a lot better than it was.
Okay.
I've seen fewer non-commercial cars. I would call out still though, while I respect that it's a dangerous job, also part of it is supposed to be for the safety of the community. So the one time I saw a flagger at the Target area, she was sitting down on the guard. And I was like, are you not going to help us here? And it was before the current state and she started yelling at me. She was like, do you need help? And I was like, well, that's not the point. And so having somebody there that's not doing anything is not impacting us positively at all.
And I'll give you the other side. The flagger that I saw was very helpful. They
Yeah.
were doing their job. He was moving people around. He was.
Yeah, I mean, they have so many interactions every day. I'm sorry you had an unpleasant one, and we can remind the contractor, you know, in order
Sure.
to be courteous.
I mean, also.
And to, well, I mean,
Courteous and
to do the job.
guiding.
Yes.
And then just please remind them about the parking.
Sometimes we like flaggers to leave, we fire them for doing improper job, like
Right.
seeing someone on the phone, and say, all right, we take action if we catch it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like we try.
Well, we're gonna start taking photographs of these.
Please, help us. It's like, this is your
No.
picture, you're out of the job.
Yeah, I mean, we got a short video that said there wasn't a flagger, and my response was, you know,
Yeah, but
That was for me.
here every day, and we'll walk through the site at any time.
That was for me to show that there wasn't a flagger, and I have another video, and I have pictures. It's just, they were just too large to send an email. So, yeah,
You can, we'll take
again,
a
I have
drive link, I can look at any video you have, but
Yeah.
we.
All right, I'm gonna say, thank you.
Yeah.
We haven't seen you in a long time.
Thank you, thank
We're
you.
always happy to see you. Bring more pictures. And next time, I just want to hear about, remember the project on Water Street where they were gonna go down into water?
Oh, yeah.
We want to hear
No,
about.
not Water Street, South.
South
Street.
Street. We want to hear.
We want to hear about that. Dana and
Bring,
Franklin and
Joseph.
Douglas.
Yeah, we want to know what happened with that, because we're all kids.
quick thing, what's the good news, the fact that that the underground work was done, is that
Con Ed is there every day too.
Okay.
They added some personnel to our job and maybe we're just kind of this wheel situation, but we're not gonna send them away.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Get Conrad here for May, when you guys are environmental.
All right.
Have a good night, thank you.
Thank you.
Francis, come on up. Switching. Come on there. Thank you for being patient.
No problem.
Let's put the votes here.
This is unusual. Normally you'd go to licensing committee and not come to our committee, but there's so many licenses that went to licensing committee. 10 o'clock at night. So you came to our committee. The geek committee, we handle rats, sanitation, and that kind of.
If y'all see five flaggers, y'all should take a picture.
I haven't seen that. You're right, I haven't seen that.
No.
Not there.
Usually if I see somebody, might be one, two or three people just sitting on the side.
Does anybody have a White Street? You be first.
I'm sure she's from Good One and you.
Can you take a seat over there so you
More
be closer to the
50%,
arrow?
more than 50% like what you said.
Okay, so we just switched and now we're gonna do licensing committee. You two introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Mariana, I'm past co-chair in Quality of Life.
I'm Francis Curtis, I'm co-chair on licensing.
And Susan is online.
Susan?
She's there.
That's Susan
Unmute
Cole.
You look thrilled, Susan.
We also switched out from Zach to Onej with, from the staff.
Person you've all been emailing. Okay, and you are here for okay, introduce yourself.
Hi, Ryan Stone, one of the owners of One White Street.
I'm sorry?
Ryan Stone, I'm one of the owners of One White Street.
Okay.
That's the name of the establishment and the address. Okay, got it. And you're applying for roadway?
Roadway and sidewalk.
Okay.
you're doing
Roadway
sidewalk.
and sidewalk.
Do you have anything you want to give us or show us or just gonna make a presentation? How's it going?
This application is just for roadway. We haven't received the sidewalk as yet.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the intent to?
Begin, how?
Yeah, we applied for it.
Make
Just
your
made it.
presentation.
Well, she didn't receive any information.
Oh, so we get it, we don't get it together. We get it separately.
Oh, okay, so
For roadbed and then sidewalk.
understood. Okay.
Which means I have to come back.
What's the way between what one?
It's on like the corner of White
Where
Street and
Todd
West
Snyder
Broadway.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
where River Hill?
Yeah, right next to River Hill.
Okay, so Onej has brought up the slides.
Everybody see the picture?
And
This one, if you know.
so is there an existing roadbed there already?
There was, it got taken down, obviously. So it's in more or less the same footprint, but I think, when we submitted to DOT, they made it a little bit smaller, shorter and more narrow, for FDNY clearance. So this is what they have.
Have you gotten that clearance yet?
Yeah, they emailed us, they talked to us, and they
Could they
made.
please send us a copy?
That's the one, yeah, that's the one that you have right there is the one that they've approved.
Okay, so you're looking for 16 seats?
It'll probably be less than that, honestly. So it'd be probably like 5 deuces, so that'd probably be all it'll fit on that. So
Five,
10
yeah, 5 seats?
The
5.
15 from this, it looks a little tight.
It looks tight, yeah, so it'll be probably like 10 to 12 seats maximum.
Oh, 5 tables.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you have a little bit more
How
space.
many seats are inside?
Inside, good spot, probably 55, 60.
Okay.
How many bathrooms?
There's 2 for, that are guest facing, 1 is for employees, so 3 in total.
Yeah, I'm sorry, there's what?
2 for guest, I've got a staff bathroom as well, so 3 bathrooms in total.
ADA?
1 is ADA. On the first floor.
How many seats you gonna have in the road then?
In the, 10 to 12.
So it's a
See what's
separate
important.
Yeah, it'd be good. You need a certain number of bathrooms depending upon the seat, so we just
Oh,
want to
okay.
make sure that everything works. Okay, so you're fine.
Are you gonna have any kind of covering, any lighting out there?
No, it's because we're close to the corner, we're unable to kind of do anything above the 4 or whatever the 5 feet limit is, so there's gonna be no covering, no umbrella, no lights, no nothing.
Okay, are you gonna have greenery?
I think I would love for there to be, I think it's just whatever we're allowed to do as far as height and things, I think.
Well, space-wise, I think space and.
Yeah, like I would love to have like greenery around it. I think we're the engineer that's designing it. I guess there's 2 different ways you can do it, I guess with water barrier or like some engineered
Right, I
one.
think
So
that's one of the
with the
ones.
engineered one, it's like 4 inches, so whatever we can fit in 4 inches is probably what we're gonna have to do. But it'll be pretty minimal, just because there's only that much room.
I guess you might as well share while you're here, if you said you already applied for a sidewalk, because with the number of.
So the sidewalk one is on
The
this,
sidewalk is gonna, looks like we want 10 seats out there.
and there's no way that you could fit that many, like,
Yeah,
in that,
because
you're on
door,
that 5 feet, I mean, we're gonna have like 3 tables there.
And you have a little trap door.
There's a cellar door there.
We're gonna keep this close to the building because.
Yeah, it has to be, so it has to be within 5 feet, so like, that's the maximum that we're
Okay,
allowed
so
to
you're
based on.
thinking 5 at the roadbed, 3 on the sidewalk, and then what you have inside.
Correct.
That should be fun. Okay, so anybody have any comments or questions? Diane?
Are you, is there, what are you gonna be doing for rodent mitigation?
So I think they're designed, so again, this one will be, like an engineered, like metal or wood that'll be around it. And then the floor and all these, how it has to be removable, so that way you can actually like lift it up and wash under it all the time. So, they're designing it so that can be built, so that way we can lift it and clean it.
Okay.
And in your roadbed, you have the aisle inside so that they can serve inside? But they have to be able to serve inside of the area that's available.
Correct, so
for
yeah, so
roadbed.
basically the way that we're gonna design it is that the tables will be like, if this is the long way
That's
of
why you
the
have to
thing,
take
it'll
them
be.
out, so they have.
Yeah, so it'll be,
space in there.
is that way so you can serve from within it, between the tables.
So there won't be bicycles?
No, yeah.
And where is your garbage?
The garbage, we have an easement that's on the side of the building that houses all of our trash, so that, this doesn't affect it.
Okay, good. And where's the wait staff coming in and out of?
So there's doors, there's obviously that door right there on the ADA ramp. And then
Where?
there's,
Right, yeah.
and then there's another door that we're like, back, if you scroll back down. Like where it says building egress, like right there is the door for the main entrance of the restaurant.
And you know, because I think y'all might have done this previously, like you can't necessarily have like a setup for water, et cetera, in that area blocking the sidewalk.
Yeah, so we won't have to, with it only being, 5 tables, everything, there's a service station right inside the restaurant.
Mitch, anything?
No,
Okay, good.
I mean, just the combination of, I thought, the combination of the roadway and the, sidewalk. I mean, I see there's pros and cons of taking them separately, but then I see pros and cons of taking them together because of the enormity of it, so.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to at least discuss it a little bit together, so.
Are we gonna be voting on the site now?
I don't think we are allowed.
Application, right? Yeah.
No, I will give you a heads up, I'm going
No,
to
I just
no on
wanted
the
to-
sidewalk, because it's not a great experience.
Oh, Susan, sorry.
I mean, I'd like.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm still confused on the roadway, how you're going to serve, where you're going to serve. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16, that's going to be reduced, you
They're
say. to
taking out
around
half of those
12.
tables. They're taking out half of those tables.
I got it.
Yes, the
So-
tables will be turned from their current representation to be like 90 degrees. And there'll be 5 tables spaced about 2 feet apart from each other. So that way, like, a server could come in between the tables and serve both sides.
But they're not, they're going to come off, is there a place where they come in to serve? That's what I can't, the picture doesn't show me clearly. I
don't-
see
Well, no.
the restaurant,
Wait a minute.
they can't serve from the sidewalk.
We're not serving from the sidewalk.
They'll be inside, that's
They'll be
what I had
inside the
asked.
enclosure.
This is
Okay.
They're removing half the tables, they're turning the tables on their side as opposed to lined up the way they are. So they'll have half the tables and if they turn them 90 degrees, that gives them the aisle within the parameters of that roadbed to serve from.
Yeah.
All that being said, could we have an updated sketch, please?
I can, so this is what, yeah, I can work it with another way, I can,
And send it to us then.
sure, yeah,
You need it before the board meeting.
Need it
Right.
by Tuesday.
by Tuesday, okay.
Just a little confused, we're not voting on the sidewalk, so just
No.
that yellow square?
Oh, that's the sidewalk.
Oh, the yellow squares is, okay, I was.
We're voting on the, we're voting on
But he's removing half the.
That he's going to send us an
Yeah.
updated.
Okay, I wasn't
To
sure.
show us how he's gonna rearrange it and move. It's gonna be less.
by the end of day Tuesday, well, the work day Tuesday, because our meeting starts at 6 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, I should have it by like, I was gonna have it for this meeting, but he didn't get back to me.
No worries. Any more questions, comments on this one?
Call the question.
Second. Anybody?
Up to 5, any, in the evening? Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
sticking with the 5 to 10?
Yeah, we don't do
If
much.
it's 10, everything's 5 to 10.
All those in favor?
In
Susan?
favor.
Do we have any opposition, any recusals, any
Thompson
abstentions?
abstains.
I'm gonna.
We got that too. Thompson abstains, Curtis abstains. Stein? Oh, okay.
All right. I think that's it.
All right, next,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sweet Garden.
125 Chambers.
Anybody here for Sweet Garden?
Sweet Green?
Yes,
Green.
Green.
Do I gotta sit at the table?
Oh, it's getting excited.
I was
talking
when
Do you have any pictures for us?
Guys, see,
Do
you
have
have
any
to talk to
updated
us, that's why you have to sit at the table.
Okay, okay. I heard that we were already approved, but we were just waiting for, the CB to.
That's the unit board.
Yeah, to get back to us. But I'm Elijah. I'm a coach at Sweet Green on 125 Chambers Street, and this is John. He's also a coach, so we're both coaches at that location. So we're here representing Sweet Green to just get approval of any like questions or answers you have
Do
about
you have any sketches or drawings?
sketches or
Pictures or anything?
No, they didn't give us any of that, but we previously had it, like, every year we always get, the sidewalk seating.
They have?
No, I've never seen it before in my life.
No? Chamber
Yeah.
Street?
Absolutely not.
Is this a one-time thing, or is this all, what are you talking about? I can't believe they told you not to give us drawings and access and all of this. Onej, am I off the wall?
I'm sorry,
No.
can you repeat that?
Do we have mock-ups for this location? Did we receive those?
You said that they were, that we've had.
This is what we have.
Yeah, we always have outdoor seating.
What,
Like,
no,
during
this
the-
is for one white,
Time.
what we're seeing at least.
Oh.
Yeah, get rid of that, we did that already.
That's it, right? Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, what's your,
Yeah, during the springtime. everything.
I said they did it without the markup, without the legal, not going to the community board. There's
Okay,
nothing-
Mitch.
You guys are not the owners, so there's nothing to do
Oh.
with you guys.
Here it is. You have the photograph?
All right, so this is what we have. What was that? Looks like 6 seats? We got 6 seats?
Yeah.
What's missing there is the garbage cans that are usually out there and the sign that they have, like, which then blocks, makes things much
Well,
thinner.
it shows you, because I.
And
have
then the
heard
15 cyclists that wait for orders.
So we don't usually
Yeah,
get
that
like
picture
lots
must
of
be around
cyclists
7
waiting for
o'clock in the
order.
morning on a
It's
Sunday.
more like,
You do.
We can't hear.
oh, sorry.
Alright,
You go.
there's a lot of cyclists that sit and wait right there. And it's actually been a problem we've complained about in the past. So maybe it's been improved slightly, but like, this seems like the worst case for sidewalk, seating. It's Chamber Street, it's busy. The location, the cyclists, the signs.
And that picture doesn't represent how the normal is.
So further up here.
No, they're sitting there waiting to pick up orders to like the deliveries. And it's a lot of them.
Delivery cyclists and then.
No, yeah, delivery cyclists.
But I'm just.
There's a cycling, like rental place up the street, yes.
No, because I first want to receive.
See what?
Yeah, yeah, we don't usually have issues with the cyclists, so the cyclists like
No.
delivery comes more like during the nighttime.
We're just
So-
talking about the setup and the people that, and the things that are there. Because you have the subway,
Yeah.
which is a major issue. It's
Right on the
not,
corner.
the street itself is narrow.
Yeah.
So to have two-way traffic and some people sit on the sides or traffic has to go around, that's a very busy
Yeah.
intersection right there, especially since they took away the West Broadway and put Bogatis, that park there.
Plaza.
So it's kind of confusing and tight.
That is no way, that is the nicest picture I've ever seen of that area.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That is
the
the-
discrepancy though, you guys say that there've always been seats outside, and everybody else is saying they haven't had seats outside.
I don't
I've
think,
never seen that before.
I've never seen that, and also I mean, this is not to like tackle y'all, but My guesstimate would be that like they didn't get approval for seats, it was just that they had them.
Oh, yeah.
And there wasn't a
You
requirement.
might have had it, but it wasn't, we didn't know
Oh, I
anything
remember
about
that part.
It might not have been a
Yeah,
requirement.
none of this is directed to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are just trying to give the front people.
Yeah, but I still gotta
They,
get an
they said
understanding
they
for
threw
it.
you under the bus.
Yeah, I still gotta get an understanding for it though.
And they, sometimes they'll put the signs advertising, and if they have it like and then there's
Oh, here.
the garbage can.
Morton has a sign. Oh,
So
show
I
us.
took one this afternoon, I had it too.
There's some on your, if you go on,
Yeah.
Apple Maps. you can see some-
Yeah.
So it's already
Yes, for the
crowded.
summertime.
How much room did I have? Did I send this?
Yeah, there's definitely garbage cans like on the street.
On the street corners, yeah.
You could see.
Like right in front of them, so if there's any other tables, it's like this, and then they put the sign kind of out. Because I think.
Which signs are not supposed to be. I don't
I'm not
think.
saying what,
Yeah.
not them.
Right. No, we know it's at that.
Current path.
Yeah.
And this is only
on
on.
the-
What you got for this afternoon?
No, this is this afternoon.
Well, there's nothing there except the sign.
Yeah, no.
What are the hours for this place?
Never had.
10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. But it won't be, the seating is not like all day. It will just get cut.
Until 8 p.m. Yes.
The
It's tables.
timing for the seats.
On school days, that place is like,
So it'll be like 11:30 to probably like 7 p.m., 7:30.
Is that in part of the document?
They get a lot of students.
They usually fill out the document, that's why we have to ask.
The confluence of different schools.
Oh, no, no, right, the resolution.
Right there.
A lot of businesses.
But you guys, who's the owner or the manager? They threw you all under the bus.
They did.
The owner? Who's the owner
Yeah,
or the manager?
for this
Who's
location.
What do you call it? Why they say?
We're the manager of the locations.
Yeah,
but-
we're the.
Wait, I'm sorry, you guys are the managers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're the coaches, yeah. The
Yeah.
coaches mean like the general managers of
but
the.
they're not the owners.
We're
No,
gonna-
the owners, because it's
It's
a
not the owner.
shame.
They submitted the application.
Franchise.
So who are the, none of the principals decided to show
So,
up.
Patrick, yeah.
I can call him and he.
He could have been, they could have even been online, but they sent you guys here
Yeah,
to hear it from us.
it's okay.
So what
So
makes
you
you?
can have it on one side of the entrance,
Yeah.
right? Like in this other. with these
Like
other
where the
two chairs-
umbrella is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
With its other two chairs and table are, that won't be
No, no,
there.
no.
So you're looking for one table?
Probably like 3
Three
tables.
table and three kids on a chair.
So that picture doesn't represent what you want.
Mm-mm.
In the,
Not you,
on
like
the-
everything I say you, not you.
Yeah, no, I get it, I got you.
The other question is, where did that table come from?
I don't know who took that picture, I don't know where that came from.
on the Apple.
Amanda, but isn't that picture part of the application?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Like that.
Just like
Yeah.
that, like.
So in the picture, there's two tables, so there'd be another third table, what they're saying.
Where'd you get?
And
I
Google
I did on
picture is
Apple
three
Maps.
tables.
What?
So where'd
Yes,
this come from?
like that. Just
I,
like
okay,
that.
you go on Apple Maps and
But
then,
is that current?
I don't
No,
know.
this is current.
Right, but look at what.
I know, but they're out, and that's what
That's
they've been
from
doing. We
this
didn't know
summer.
anything. I've never seen that before.
They do
But,
get-
but there's no tables out.
But
out
what
there.
they said,
This
you
is
know, what you
current. Yes, I have current. There are no tables.
Yeah, correct.
With an umbrella. You go and you That's find what's it in the and then application. Look around. Two tables.
So the gentleman think it's 3 tables.
No,
Oh,
one
there's-
umbrella.
Yeah, there's
One umbrella.
one umbrella and two tables is what it looks like. In this photo. Sitting on
The picture shows 3 tables.
Let's clarify.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
So.
The drawing prior, the one Onesh showed us, shows 3 tables.
Yes.
Yeah.
The photo is not representative of the
What the
drawing of
description
the
is.
drawing.
Right.
The photo,
Illegal.
tables with an umbrella.
Oh, no.
With no trash cans that are in front that are always there, 3 or 4 trash cans that are in front.
Yeah.
No,
And
they
a
aren't.
sign that's out.
Trash cans on there.
Like, that's not a current picture. It doesn't even look like outside.
This was months ago.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go to the sketch. Let's go to sketch.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The tables, it's not a wait staff service, correct? It's people purchase their salad
Yeah.
and
Yes,
anyone
yes.
can sit out. So people will be sitting out there any hour that the place is open, correct? You're not going to bring the tables in at a certain time, or are you?
Yes, we are.
You can bring in the table with the umbrella in every night?
Yeah, every night. Yeah, it doesn't stay outside.
At what time do you bring them in?
We're like 7 o'clock, 7:30.
They're not there later.
Like 7:30, yeah, but that's where we will.
They don't have, do they have?
What I wanna know is what's that box with the line down the center? See the box with the line down the center next to the tables?
To the left of the tables.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
got a box.
that box right there?
Yeah, what is that?
That should be like the entrance, I think.
No, the
No, in
door,
front of the
door
thing,
is
that's
the
gonna
thing that swings.
Oh,
It's gonna be like the little,
Is that the
you
hat
know,
on the ground?
the little stanchion or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one out there. No, I'm talking about this box with the line down.
Yeah, because the entrance is to the left.
to the left of the
You have an arrow?
So, let me show you.
Box is to
That's
the
why
right
I
of.
was focusing in on this photo.
Where?
Behind this lady, there is like
A grate?
a grate. You can see it here
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that's like our market thing.
This,
Great in the ground.
this
Same,
column
okay.
over here, this second column over here is what is represented.
That's
by
what this
little
is?
bit.
That's what's
Okay.
Yes,
That's what that is?
yes.
It's a grate?
That's the grate on the sidewalk.
Oh.
So can you
It
be
is.
that close to the grate?
Oh, yeah, some people have,
So I thought
the
that-
other ones have tables out on there.
But I thought in licensing there was a certain amount of distance. you had to be-
No, last time they told us we had to walk on them.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Heels on your
Pay
feet.
closer to the building, you know, it's
Okay.
okay.
The,
Just as long as you don't fall in. That's all they were gonna
Oh,
do.
yeah, to sit on that.
All right,
All right, so any questions or comments on this one?
Oh, the question.
Online?
well, let me ask you a question. If we deny it,
We can,
can we deny it?
we could just,
I mean,
we could
We
just express our
recommend,
feelings,
again, we don't think it's a
recommend.
good idea, but I mean, it looks, I don't know.
the
looks okay.
options are
Okay.
for sidewalk for the committee is approve with modifications, deny, or just waive the right to
Stay
comment.
in place.
Waive the
Waive the right.
Or just wait, or just don't comment.
So we can't deny it.
Is that dark black line on two sides, is that a stanchion or some sort of gate or
That's
barrier?
probably what you saw in the
I
picture.
mean, the principals are not here, and, you know, they threw the guys under the bus, these guys are two very nice young men. And the information is contradictory with the pictures and with that, so. I
Well, the
don't know-
pictures we were told are not current, so we
Right,
can't.
but that's what the owners presented, so
But we, in licensing, we do get pictures that are not, they're just showing us the
the
location.
the pictures.
Well, but they should get to us before the meeting what it's gonna actually look like.
That's a
We don't
sketch.
have time.
Yeah, so that's what the sketch is for.
Before that.
Yeah,
That's-
right,
Yeah.
right.
That street is like rush hour most days, and I've never seen it like that with one person, and with the street that clean in my life over there.
I
So I
mean,
think
I
we should.
remember us denying anything on the sidewalk on Chambers Street.
Yep.
Susan, remember this years ago, some entity came to us.
All the main streets we used to deny,
Deny,
only the
yeah.
side streets we would say, okay.
Yeah.
So I would say let's call the question and vote and
Yep.
see if it's add or deny.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure nobody online had
Okay.
anything.
But they've had this. They've,
Okay.
I just want to say, the way I understand it, they've had several tables for several years. Am I correct, gentlemen?
Yes, correct, from my knowledge, yeah.
Is that only in the summertime or?
In the summer. Summer, like spring, summer, yeah.
I mean.
Well, nobody's gonna sit out there in the winter.
Yeah, definitely not.
Did they have it because they were allowed to have it, or did they have it just because they put it out?
We're
and nobody
talking
touched
about
it?
6 seats. Okay. I just want to, 6 seats till 7:30, blah, 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 for it's not takeout. I mean, it's takeout from them. It's their clientele who's going to sit there.
And also, somebody said that across the street, there already was some restaurant that had tables.
Mudville is gonna,
It's a road bed.
Mudville is gonna have a road bed.
They
So
have,
we
they have.
can't really deny them if the.
Well, roadbed is.
Yeah, but they're
from a
directly
sidewalk.
across the street, so in
Roadbed's
terms of
worse.
that part of
Right,
Chambers
but that's-
Street,
It doesn't impact the pedestrian traffic
Right.
as much.
But we have to talk about both pedestrian and the
It's
pedestrian. Roadbed is worse.
But that affects the parking spaces, it doesn't affect the
Right.
street
Don't
traffic.
forget the parking spaces. I'm talking about in terms of traffic jams. If the bus goes down Chambers Street, it's, to me, the roadbed is much worse.
I'm right, but it doesn't, what we're talking about, it doesn't affect the pedestrian traffic like on the street,
Right. But I'm saying that I'm gonna vote yes, because this doesn't bother me as much as roadbed. And if roadbed, if across the street
I want you to go get salad there in May, when there's 15,000 cyclists on the
Okay, we
sidewalk.
haven't received anything from MUD for that one yet, so
Because
that's
I
still.
think we should deny it.
Oh, well, no, absolutely.
Okay.
In terms of this one,
Let's stick to what.
let's stick to this,
Okay,
okay?
So I called the president.
I
Question
second
been
it.
called.
I second it.
Second, okay,
Yes.
okay. So,
Any,
any more discussion?
No.
Any, abstentions or
Live
opposition? Okay, Curtis abstained.
I'm for it.
So everybody else is for it?
No.
So
You just
Thompson,
denied it.
Okay, opposition, yes.
Thompson opposed.
Okay.
This is for it, correct?
I like these guys, but I'm opposed to the.
Yes, Jill.
Okay.
Okay.
General Susan are for it. General Susan for it.
I'm for it. Everybody else?
I'm for it.
I abstain.
Okay, I'm for it.
I'm gonna bring this up and throw it in your face in 6 months.
You got me on your,
Believe me, we've had far worse.
We gonna make y'all.
yeah, we're on the denial?
From and
Yes.
opposes.
Thank you.
Got it.
Motion passes. Okay, next time make them come. I'm gonna throw you on the.
Well, at least tell them you gotta give us.
More information.
Who's gonna,
I didn't even know you needed like pictures of everything. You printed off this stuff for me and that was it, yeah.
Then if they have that, then check the signs that they usually put the signs out so that then it cuts that space even in half of what they have.
So what's the ruling on signs?
You know, they have the marketing sign, like they put it
They have a
on
sandwich
the outside of the tables.
Sandwich.
So the table don't see it and the sign goes there. then the
Yeah,
sign-
we take a picture,
Sure.
give you the quality of life. Yeah, and we then say this
I mean,
is
it's wrong.
the
Well,
problem
we need to know what DOT has to say about it.
about signs on sidewalk, yeah.
Pass the table.
Can I just say something?
Can we move on to?
Just quick, I just support this because I find a reasonably priced restaurant, we should support so that, it comes in the community, provides jobs to people.
You can still get in the restaurant.
You can still get in, yes. And guess what, there's the garbage plaza across the street to go sit down.
It was providing jobs and feeding people, well, it's a large space, it's not a small.
Wait,
space.
wait, wait.
Can we
Did
move
we
on?
vote?
Can these gentlemen go home?
Yes, we voted, Susan, and it passed.
What, Brendan?
No,
We
no,
voted.
They can go.
Susan wants to talk, guys, Susan.
Susan, yes.
the answer?
Sorry, it passed, yes. So y'all are welcome to leave. Susan, it passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, right? Or give me their job instead.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good night, right?
275
Sit to one of the owls?
I'm gonna sit it right there when they leave.
Okay, thank you.
So we can grill you now.
Step to the hot seat.
Step to the hot seat.
This is what, 275 church?
Mm-hmm.
Did we eat? Come on. My parents are from Darlings, though. We like filet.
I am not. My grandfather is the one that's inspired.
I'm looking at this picture.
Okay, we don't have any, we didn't, well, do you have? No, in terms of the sketch.
Right, so this has the sketch and the pictures. So currently this is the picture on every side. So you have the left, right, and this is gonna be a roadbed, so it's gonna be right in front. So the roadbed is going to be, this is the sketch, but it's clear here, because it's actually going to be a container.
There's no seats.
So if any,
So you're actually not allowed to do that.
so that is, it's, the DOT has approved this.
And y'all can have a top like that?
Yes, the DOT has fully approved it. That's why we're here today.
Well, we don't see anything on the application that they approved.
Well, we
What is
have-
that? What is this?
So this is a container. It's a shipping container. So it's a shipping container that's been modified. And so you'll see in the full application, this whole drawing is there.
So question, how can you, I was gonna ask, how can you take that down apart?
So it's just picked up by a tractor trailer. So a tractor trailer drops it and the tractor trailer picks it
But
up.
then every night, somebody's gonna come in and pick it up.
No, it can stay from the time, I think it's like April something until October something.
That's what I mean, at the end of the season, someone got to come and pick it up.
Yes, a tractor comes and picks it up and then they put it in storage, at a storage facility. So it's by a, called Food Box. They're a company that has just developed, and there's several, containers that are going in. It's Food Box is a certified, company to make these for, restaurants. Yes, it's actually on their website as one of their approved vendors. So this is the container, this is what it looks like, it's 8x20. Our space, as you can see, the restaurant frontage is 8x20, it just goes right on the streets, butted up against the sidewalk. So there's going to be 5 tables, so a total of 10, and there's space in between each. And then you'll see, just basically in the center of that is where the door opens. The door on the side, that just shows that's the residential door to the rest of the building.
Okay, but where where are you gonna serve from?
It's the center, so as you can see, the center door is not really listed on that drawing. But as you can see in the picture, you have the center door, then on the right is that residential door. We'll see.
I'm not worried about that, the food coming out. What I'm worried about, what I'm asking is on the roadbed, I don't see anywhere where you're gonna, where the waiter are gonna come in and serve. Is it the left side, the right side?
On the left and right of each table. So it's 20 feet long, and those tables are probably like 2 by 2 feet. So there's plenty of room in between each table to have the server go all the way into the bed and then turn to the left to the table, then turn to the right.
That I can see perfectly. That's not the issue. What I want to have a sense, are they going to come from the left side by the, are they going to come from the right side? Which way is going to be, where's the server going to come? Because they can't serve from the sidewalk.
They have to go in.
What he's asking is there going to be any type of barrier here? And if there is, where is the opening going to be?
So I'm sorry, that drawing doesn't show this that I have here.
There's no barrier there either.
To the, oh, yeah.
Right. So the drawings
So one
are
side is wholly open.
completely open. That's the side to the sidewalk. So this is completely open and the barrier is on left and right. So you just walk straight in. That makes sense.
But you're still gonna be serving.
No, they're not space between the sides.
So inside in between each table. So we're not serving from the street. 20 feet is pretty long. So 20 feet is probably like this to that. And there's only 5
I think
tables.
the confusion is you're saying that the side that's open is gonna be the side that is sidewalk facing.
Right.
So is the server, the waiter gonna have to step into?
Correct. In between
Into the
those,
street?
No, no.
I don't know how
We're
to
gonna walk
better
right from the
explain.
sidewalk, look.
It's butted, it's gonna be butted
They're
against.
going to, all of this is open, and so they would come in, and they're gonna be speaking to this table and serving here, and then they could turn to speak and serve to those 2 tables. So they're
Yeah,
gonna
no, that's how we got, we're
But that
questioning,
little space.
questioning the entrance.
Yeah,
Right, but the entrance is all on your property, not in the, not in the street.
They can't be standing on the street.
That's
Well,
it. Let me get that.
This is the sidewalk,
Right.
and the container is butted up
You
against
know why you have 2 lines
to
there.
the sidewalk. This is just the length, it's
Yeah,
telling you
that's
this is,
confusing. It should be a dash line.
and this is the sidewalk.
Yeah, okay.
It's against the curb.
So all that space is between the sidewalk and the curb, so they're just gonna walk in there on your own property.
These 2 lines are sidewalk, and this is just showing this length is 20 feet.
So nobody's gonna be stepping onto the street. No,
The
dodge.
street is not viewable.
Yeah.
It's directly up to the sidewalk.
Did you have an architect do this for us?
This drawing, no, but I do have architectural drawings.
No, fine, but any line should be dashed line.
But I do have architectural drawings of the container.
And this is all gonna be on Church Street,
This is.
We'd like to see it, so.
Because I can see them serving from the other side.
Would you like to see which? The architectural drawings of the container?
Yes.
Yes, I can see the architectural drawings of the container. I have them right now. But it's not really going to show.
Back is gonna be.
No, look, okay, look at what he's got. Let me, you see how you walk, wait, you walk from the restaurant in there.
The restaurant's over
This is
here,
all open, right?
The restaurant's here.
You walk
and
in.
then walking in,
Right.
there, and
So,
the
and between the
seats are-
tables,
and they
there's
can
space, so you
maneuver.
can walk between the
they
tables.
can
You've got
maneuver
other restaurants where we.
It's the exact same thing as what White West did. It's just that they don't have a top. They just have the barrier left and right, and then that is going directly up. to
See, we
the
were
side.
told that you could only have 3 sides unless you had a soft roof.
The
So, okay,
DOT has already passed
if it's
this.
approved, it's approved. But the whole front is open.
It's such a
We
narrow
used to
space.
be-
and I do only have 3 sides.
We were told that you only had 3 sides.
that is.
And you had,
There is no this side.
you could not have a permanent roof.
No, but
This is a permanent.
she's saying this is considered a side as well.
That's a. You're saying the roof is considered a side
The
as
roof is
well?
not removable.
The entire structure.
Yes,
is removed.
exactly, in their case, and
Yeah.
it's been approved, yeah,
Exactly.
so.
That's why it's.
What are you considering an additional side?
The roof.
No, the roof, you're not supposed to have a roof, but they
Okay,
have, but
so
their
you're
structure
saying
has
that's
been
a side.
approved.
Yes.
No, you're supposed to have 3 sides,
Right.
2 sides and a back.
It's 1, 2, 3, but you're saying that.
And the roof is not supposed to.
Because if you look at the DOT site, it has soft roofs for everything, and that was a big push for these new roadside beds, and that's why we're all questioning. We get it that they've approved, but we're all questioning why all of a sudden you have a hard top, and we've been telling everybody else that they have to have soft tops.
There's been a lot of confusion, but this is.
Hey,
They
they
actually,
approved it.
they actually seem to prefer this, is because this has is much stronger barrier. It's a shipping container. It's built in, it's not having to build water that can be,
Right.
it's a physical metal,
Are you able
It's
to,
all one structure?
one structure, it's about 15 tons or whatever. I can't do it exactly.
It doesn't collapse, they're picking up the whole structure and moving.
Yeah.
My question is, do you have space underneath that structure to clean?
So these grid, this is basically like a floor grid, that comes completely up and you can complain.
Okay, great.
But you're only cleaning 2 grooves, basically.
Okay.
Because the shipping container,
Right.
you're just like
So there's-
washing out those.
How high are your sides? How high?
The sides that have the printing on it?
Let me pull up the
Thank you.
architectural drawing.
Is there space underneath?
They must not be very high, Susan. They're probably like 3.5 feet high.
I think he said 4 feet.
Okay.
You can probably see your head when you're sitting down at the table.
The water, I'm gonna have to have a table for the water. It's gonna be inside the restaurant first.
Yes, our server station would just be right inside.
Okay.
And so what are the hours?
It will be until 10:30, 11:30 to 10:30.
Sunday,
Latest.
so it'd be 10 o'clock.
Well, we close, that's the latest. So basically Sunday through Thursday, we close at 9:30 regularly. So that's not the, and then 10:30 Friday night and Saturday night.
That's fine.
That's the latest. 10:30 we close regularly.
Okay.
This is small restaurant.
There's no bathroom issues.
Oh, yeah, well, they don't have.
Okay, so here's,
One bathroom.
We have to ask about
so we
that.
do have 2 bathrooms. So we have 2 public bathrooms and then a service bathroom,
But your public bathrooms, are they 1 stall each?
1 stall each.
It's only 2 stalls.
2 stalls, yes.
But what's your total capacity, including sidewalk, roadbed, and inside?
We don't
We don't
have
have-
sidewalk.
We don't have a sidewalk and we won't get it because it's such a small frontage.
That's right.
The inside is 54 plus the 10
64, okay, so you're.
That's fine.
I think the bathroom is ADA.
We do have an ADA. We just did opened about 3 years ago in May.
Yeah.
And so we were required to have an ADA, and so we'll be ADA compliant.
Want to change probably as the committee is from 10:30 to 10 for on Sunday.
No, you said the 9:30. You said 9:30.
It's listed wrong, as she said earlier, for some reason, there always seems to be wrong, but we close at 9:30 Sunday through
Thursday, yeah, and Friday and Saturday are till 10:30.
Correct.
Okay.
And since your roadbed, your container is the same width as your front, what is your garbage done?
Our garbage will go right on the side of it. So technically, if you see on the drawing, we do have some room
Yeah.
for the building on the right side if you're facing it. And so we're just put it on the side of that. But we put our garbage cans in every night. We take them in every day. We don't leave them outside.
And your buffet?
I'm sorry?
No buffet for the work home?
Our frontage is so small, we don't really want to have our trash cans sitting out during service hours.
Here? Yeah.
And this
Well,
is.
actually on the other side.
The other side?
Yeah, because that's still the building. That's just the residential entrance.
Entrance, yeah.
Can
Yeah.
it be in that 10 feet? Is it allowed to be in there?
No, it's not. It's gonna be on the other side of the thing.
Oh.
It's gonna be.
10th Street. Okay. Call the question.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Actually.
What?
Okay, who's opposed?
Thompson abstains.
Abstain.
Did we lose Jill?
Curtis abstains.
Jill, what's your vote?
Did we lose her?
You must be gone. Okay.
So her name's still there.
I'm here. I'm here. I abstain.
All right,
Thank you.
Great. Next step.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Get us those pictures before the board meeting, please.
The architectural drawing?
Yeah.
I'll email them right now. Or
Thank
I'll
you.
email them later.
Yeah. Just by the close of business on Tuesday.
Perfect.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you very
night.
much.
Suited, so who's
Hi.
cooking dinner? Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Gotta rush over there and make sure the greens are hot. Black eyed peas.
Luckily, they have it. Going home.
All right, Fonda? Or no,
Red
it's suited.
beans and rice.
You're suited? Yes.
Thank
Very much.
I think it's more.
So what do we got, 45 John Street?
Yes.
Hi.
More you're down,
Yeah,
but
we,
I don't know. the
we're dating.
It's a narrow street on John, I mean, narrow.
Wait,
it's
let
John-
him.
Yeah, we have actually, they're doing work across the street right now, so the DOT has a permit for them and we're in touch with them. Once they finish their work, which is gonna be, well, we don't know yet, they're waiting to hear back from. But we had this up, last year and, it's 7.5 wide by 33 feet long, which is, just about the same width of our storefront. And we'll have about 6 or 10 tables in there. And all the serving will be inside the roadway cafe. We have floorboards that are even with the curb.
I'm sorry, you're maintaining that concrete structure?
Concrete?
What is that structure made out of?
Oh, no, it's all wood. It's a, what's like a spackle we put on it. Yeah.
Oh, so it's collapsible, you can.
Yeah, it's all.
Okay.
You're using the same structure?
Yeah, you're building it this way again?
Yeah, we have it. We have a big downstairs area. The landlord lets us keep everything. It's
Okay,
like
great.
8-foot sections. We're just gonna bring it up.
Oh,
and attach it to each other.
What happened to uniform that the DOT was requiring?
Uniformity of the sides of the roadways, she was asking.
What?
Well, Susan, maybe you can explain, because he's not familiar with that.
That's what.
I might be. I'm just not sure what you mean by the uniform.
Susan was asking, what about the uniform?
But they're not, because this guy who just was here from Feel Like
Yeah.
has a Yeah.
But they are, though, they said it's supposed to be uniform.
No, now they're saying it has to be three sides, soft top, one side open, and it has to be collapsible or removable.
So they changed the uniformity. I did not know that.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. That was a bad, really bad drawing.
Yeah.
That's tight.
So now this looks like, yeah, it looks like.
That's tight.
It's the amount of chairs in there looks tight.
I'm gonna have this.
Yeah, those, no, they're actually, those are way too big for 33 feet. That would be like 6-foot tables and that's not,
Okay.
they're two tops. And, they're just drawn a little large.
So we need the drawing to be corrected, to be the
So
scale.
we can see space.
Sure, yeah, but the space that is, from the edge of the tables to that, sidewalk will still be there for our, staff to drop off food.
Yes, yes.
What's the expected, head count for that area?
About 12 people, 12.
And when are you wanting to start this? I know the season starts in April, but
Yeah, I think the earliest we
there's a
can do
lot
it.
going on John Street.
Yeah, I haven't heard back from
Especially-
the other side. I'm in touch with like one of their representatives who speaks to the construction crew. But the guy, the GC Jeremy, who's been working on it, he told me in December, he said they poured a lot of concrete, but he didn't know if they would be quite finished. But he thinks that they were gonna be able to get all their stuff that they're removing out of there to be able to take their
Are they
burial.
compensating you for the time you're gonna lose?
We're gonna talk about that, cause April 1st is coming up, but they're,
But also for the community, I mean, living on that side, like, I would want to say, like, I don't know if we can, but I would want to say, like, we wouldn't want them to start with this until that's gone, because
but we can't.
we're under construction, the street is super narrow as it is.
No, they took the lane of traffic basically, so we can't do anything until they're done anyways. We just won't know when they're gonna be done, they wouldn't respond. I emailed about 2
They're
weeks
taking.
ago, and they said they'll check.
They can't. Yeah, so would you, I guess, yeah, you probably need to say that.
Yeah, I mean, the earliest I think was after 30 periods, April 16th, but
They're staying in the-
I have a feeling they're not gonna be done with theirs. I'm hoping by end of April maybe.
Well, for your sake, I hope they.
Yeah, I'm gonna email them again tomorrow after this.
I do need the width of the, so there's no measurement here.
No
No, you
measurements.
know what, they didn't.
There's no measurements, because that
They didn't give you
storefront
this.
looks like it's taking up 2 stores.
So down here.
This is,
That's
I
it.
sent this to the DOT, there's
33.
some numbers on here that he asked me for. Yeah, he didn't update it, his name's Alejandro, he's the guy I've been working with.
Down there.
It's 7.5 feet,
A bit more elaborate.
and the length is 33 1/3.
Can you send me this copy? Can you email me this copy?
Yeah,
What it is.
actually, that's the one that you sent me, I think.
No, I sent you this one, because this is the only one I have.
I printed this one off from what you sent me yesterday, yeah. That's probably what's in the DOT's,
No, I'm talking about the.
Measurement.
yeah, no, it's,
No, the measurements.
it's on.
Well, it's not there.
You're not going to have a sidewalk cafe.
Okay, I got it.
They
Are you
have
applying?
No, this is just roadways.
benches out there.
Are you gonna apply for a
No,
sidewalk?
they have benches.
Honestly,
Don't.
You have benches outside also?
Don't, there's not
Benches
enough
outside
room.
also?
we
So
don't
can
have any,
All of that.
we don't have anything out there right now, it's.
You have
everything's-
benches out there.
Everything's been removed since, November, or like, end of October.
The benches are
Because
there
that project came in and they
Benches
took
are there now?
took it away.
Or will the bench, when the weather gets warmer, will the benches be back out there when the project is finished?
Is that considered, if that's considered a,
Side-
side-
About today, but I.
Except for the question about the benches, my question was, when the weather gets warmer and the project is finished, are they planning on putting the benches back? And so he was ready to answer.
if that's considered a sidewalk permit, then no, we won't, but we just had benches for people sitting and drinking a cup of coffee, not a table.
Yeah.
So that won't be there.
Is that considered
Yes.
sidewalk cafe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
If we put it there, we will apply for the sidewalk cafe.
Okay.
We-
Okay.
Say no thanks.
Right.
Because it's too much.
Because you got
We're telling you what we're
Oh,
saying.
It's,
It's
and then
like-
you got that wine store on the corner that takes up, that
It's like
uses
14.
some of your chairs.
This is how wide is the sidewalk? Is it?
He said 14 feet.
Sidewalk?
14 or 15
No, there's
feet.
no wine store.
It's really that?
It's a big.
They used to be on-
The thing is, see the little in cut, that window where to the, that right up top, that's where the bench kind of just sat in.
So that's-
Nobody walks in that
It's
area.
13.4.
Next to them,
It's 13 feet by
right there on that little corner.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Must be a
It's a
box of-
decent-
So if you did apply for, if you applied for, if you limited to just there, you could do
not a
it.
store.
Yeah, we'd only put
Not where I
the
can go
bench there
buy
that's
a
about
bottle of
50
wine.
feet, inches wide.
That's why
That
I'm-
would be Nook or cranny,
You could
but,
have like 2 tables or something.
yeah.
So
Bench,
this,
the bench is very different than than tables and chairs. If he put the
Yes.
bench up against the building or wherever or close to, that's a little different than having a regular sidewalk cafe, which it isn't big enough for. But all right, that's another story.
Bench there.
Now-
If it's a whole rigmarole, I understand that.
It-
It's-
Yeah.
it's just
My
for
other
people to sit.
question is where are your,
I see.
where is your staff?
Hold on.
What?
Where is your staff going to serve from?
They're gonna walk straight in, we have 2 doors, they're gonna walk straight out and right onto the floorboards and serve the staff. I know the tables are a little large, drawn, they're much smaller than that, but they will serve directly in there. There's plenty of room to move around. It's 7.5 feet wide. The tables are actually only 24 inches wide, 2 feet, so there's like 5.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Thank you.
She was saying they only need 8 feet for the sidewalk, and I said that, look, it's a narrow street with a bigger sidewalk.
Yeah.
I agree, but because it's a narrow street, they're gonna have that big thing, and then it's too much.
I remember.
So it's not gonna, it's too much.
We can't deny it.
Which we can,
If it's in regulate, if it's regular.
we can though, that's one of the options.
a sidewalk, we can deny.
Are we voting on, are they?
No.
No, this is a road bed. All we're doing is the road bed.
I'm against this building, I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't, honestly, I would rather have the bench and not tables, because it's just a nicer look and it's very small and minimal and.
The bench butted against the building, I think we can deal with.
Okay, thank you.
I think so too.
Call the question?
Yep.
Second.
And you're not gonna try to do, so I'm looking at Google Maps, and y'all have tables out here? Y'all not, that's all gonna go in the. No, I'd rather have the bench there, that was. This is what. Yeah, that was probably, a while back. Okay, I think we're up for a vote.
Okay, all in favor? I'm gonna abstain, I'm not sure.
I'm sorry.
You know,
abstain.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna abstain also.
Froman abstains, Curtis abstains,
Minsley abstained.
Minsley abstains,
Thompson, Susan.
and Thompson abstains.
Susan?
I'm for it.
Okay. So if you, nobody opposed,
Any recusals? Everybody else is for, correct? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, so we're good?
Thank you. Yes.
So 139 is not here?
No one responded from Progress?
And they didn't come last time.
They're coming tomorrow.
All right.
Now I'll just follow up with the DOT to continue the process.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do a real quick, you have 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, whatever.
I filled mine out.
What is this?
What did you fill out?
We
It
supposed
said
to
to
fill?
put the,
It said LTR and CB.
right, I put LPRs on a few of them.
What?
To, if we want to write a letter to the.
Right, it's whether you want to write a letter.
Or to call back.
But so the agency response, agency supports, like the first one is the provide more housing for extremely low. Agency supports and can accommodate remove requests, so we removed that, right?
So,
The LPR is like a kind of, I guess means like you kind of really support it, and the CB is kind of you want more
Where are you
information.
looking for the ledge, where are you finding the
On
ledge?
the cover
On
letter.
this page.
It's there, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that, so.
We're
And the course says how.
we're gonna go according to the tracking priority. So tracking priority 1.
Yeah,
What's
that's when
your,
it says remove.
what's your burden on this? No action, letter, or a call back.
Well, the agency supports and can accommodate, so what do
Yeah.
we have to do with it?
Right, correct.
Oh, okay.
So we're
But we
going,
wouldn't, but if we're for it, wouldn't we put LTR like is?
No, it's.
no, it means that we don't need to take
We don't
action
need to do
because
it.
they're already.
Agency response,
we don't need
is
to
that
do
they
anything.
support it.
Oh,
Thank you.
now I know.
So then we're looking for number two,
Yes,
Number two.
12.
enhance NOR programs. And two.
Oh, two.
Number two. Next page, sorry, next page.
Actually.
No, hold on. According to the tracking priority.
yeah, but
Don't you
you're,
want one and two?
no, because you're looking at capital expenses versus what's the E stand for?
Okay, so what do you wanna do?
Expense.
Just go the way we are?
Go
We
according.
said tracking priorities, we're going to number 2 on the next page.
But that has an E next to it.
According to this.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then we're saying, all right.
Priority meant 1, 2,
Yeah, I thought you
3,
meant one, two.
tracking
Okay.
No, in order,
All right, so we're gonna get through this fast. So other capital budget requests for EDC. Fund support services for migrant and homeless children and families, including language programming and jobs. Okay, I have to say that, they've closed the migrant hotel in our area. And, I don't know.
Is that the one in Washington?
So I said, yes, agency does not support and cannot accommodate, so why are we even doing anything? with
Yeah,
that?
let's remove.
Just remove.
So no action.
No letter.
so you're just leaving it blank then?
All right,
No action. Next one is provide a new or expanded healthcare facility. And we were talking that we need another hospital. Agency does not support and cannot accommodate, remove requests.
I would put LTR for that.
Yeah, we need a hospital.
yes,
So LTR is, the CB will be
Write a
submitting a
letter?
letter.
yes.
Okay, so LTR, I mean, the reality is on that letter, our community has quadrupled.
Oh, we can't discuss all these.
No, we can't, we're
Okay,
not going.
all right, next up.
No, but we're losing a hospital. so
Right, so we want to write a letter for it.
Okay,
Okay.
next one is enhanced NORC programs. Did we just have that? And health services, designate gateway plaza as a naturally occurring. All right, so agency does not support it. I don't understand Gateway Plaza because it is not, it's on state land and it's.
So Gateway Plaza was when stabilized, right? But now it's fallen out of program. So as people move away or pass away or whatever, however they vacate their apartment, those apartments individually are moving to market rates. But there is also a deadline where, okay, there's whatever the remaining apartments are, they're going to market rate. That's within like the next 5 years. So what we're trying to prevent obviously is that. But at the
we
same
have no
time, the people that are there are aging. The population is majority seniors. And so there's designation for naturally occurring,
But I don't think we have any control over that because it's not on public property.
no, it's.
It's on state-owned property.
Go ahead, wait, Jill?
Privately
Yeah,
leased.
well, Gateway, it's a lease. A private developer, Lefrak, has a lease on state-owned property, but it's not public.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do we have any control over requesting that it become a NORC?
A NORC has to be only on publicly owned property?
I don't know, that's why I was seeing it.
Oh, I didn't
You
never
don't know
heard that. But
Okay, so I think we need to question Tammy or somebody who's in Gateway. Or,
I don't see the case,
I
because
mean-
this private, we're trying to turn that one into a NOC too.
but it's privately.
So CB.
This is state.
So,
we have Scree and Dree.
Privately leased, yeah, okay.
Yes, you got.
so CB, which I think essentially means we're going to get more info to.
Yes, I think we need to ask for
Yeah,
more.
but if Scree and Dree are applicable, I would think being a NORC is applicable as well.
Okay, we're just gonna ask for more information.
So what are we
Okay,
putting there?
let me go to the next
CB.
one.
So then on the
Hire-
next one,
Next one, hire additional crossing guards, which agency does not support and I think we need to write a letter about. it.
yes, agree.
So write a letter about.
We're gonna write a letter.
additional-
No, we're writing a letter.
LTR.
Crossing guard,
Yeah.
yes.
Next, enhance park safety through more security, we need to have that. Agency supports but cannot accommodate, resubmit requests, so.
Okay, so that's,
Resubmit.
LTR.
No, LTR, I thought was letter.
Call back.
it is a letter. Oh, so it's a callback.
CB?
Okay, so
Okay,
CB.
so CB.
Okay.
Next, provide programs for homeless veterans, that's important. Agency supports but cannot accommodate, I think we need to write a letter. I don't know how many veterans we have in our community.
We have
I don't know how many. we
You know,
have.
but even if there's not a
Oh, I
lot,
don't know how many.
the ones that
We
are
have to, we're
here,
gonna write a letter.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, next, other expense requests for DOH, what's DOH and Department of
Mental
Okay,
hygiene.
Department of Health, so agency does not support and cannot accommodate. What did
Rat-
we want?
rat mitigation.
Mitigation for Jerry Driscoll Walk in the South, that was. What was Jerry
The
Driscoll?
South Street Seaport.
Where's
Why am I missing? Where are we on?
25, number
Page
25.
three.
We're on the third page.
Third.
I don't know what that does,
Thank you.
but cannot accommodate removed request explanation, please contact the agency directly and properly. I don't know, but I'm willing to remove it. I
Me
don't, yeah,
Okay.
I'm willing to remove it.
All
Okay,
right.
next one, provide, expand, or enhance rental subsidies programs. So, yeah, right. Department of Housing, so the agency supports but cannot accommodate, resubmit requests, so resubmit
No,
requests.
CB?
CB or LTR?
Fall
Yeah,
back, isn't
CB.
that, no, CB, we're not writing a letter about it, we're gonna
Okay.
resubmit. Next, last page. Other senior center program requests, agency supports but cannot accommodate, so what do we want? We wanted to provide higher quality food at Independence Plaza Senior Center. I think we should write a letter,
Oh, yeah.
because they're already gonna close 100,
Towers coming in.
right next to you, 100,
Go.
goal, they're gonna close the senior center there. So we need to.
Build a new one.
Well, okay, number 41, other expense budget requests for HHC, Health and Human, no, HHC?
Yeah.
Health and Human, okay. Agency does not support and cannot accommodate, what did we want? We wanted funds.
Legal doulas.
Oh, doulas, this was from Desi. Okay, so I don't know, what do we wanna do? Doulas, do they have doulas in other hospitals in the city? How's the doula program run?
It's mostly few hospitals have
Are
on-site.
they private hospitals?
Well, no, even in
City hospitals?
city hospitals, they
So
have
what do you want us
to.
to do?
I mean, well, I think we should write a letter.
Okay, so
But
Elsie.
realistically,
I'll
but
do
look at the
some-
whole hospital, so they're not gonna prioritize. one.
Yeah, then yeah.
We can
Well, it's not so much prioritizing them within the hospital, just making sure that the hospitals are allowing them to come in.
Allowing or
hiring
hiring them?
Because here it says
But
fund multiple.
Different. Allowing them is one thing, paying for them and having a budget for them is a completely different situation. And with the federal government the way it is, you ain't getting.
But here we're asking for funding.
Well,
We're
you're
not
getting
asking
it.
for permission to enter.
So it's different. You wanna change it to allowing, we can change it.
I don't, I wouldn't change it to allowing either, because.
I think this letter, let's just do it.
All right, so a letter. All right, last one.
Can I
Other
log in on the
expense
last
budget
one?
request for HHC.
For
Fund
definitely a letter?
music therapy services for hospice patients. Agency does not support and cannot accommodate. Again, it's money. It's about money.
Right, but the thing is, like,
Write a
the
letter.
people that are dying,
Write a letter.
that's the
Write a letter.
best medicine in the world.
Okay,
not
I
because
agree
I'm
with
on
you.
medicine.
We're losing the entire hospital.
we-
So, can I just realistically,
Okay.
focusing on the service,
we're finished.
not likely, but letter.
We
Right.
can hand these in.
No, I think what I wrote down.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Write a
you
good letter for
all.
that one, Jay.
Huh?
Write a good letter for that one.
Right. Also, if anyone has anything, any topics, Jill,
Yeah, I have a topic.
John,
Are we
not
ready?
tonight.
You know, we talked about, you know, the needs of the community and we talked about benches and we kind of dropped it. And one of our nice people from the Downtown Independent Democrats ran into a senior and the senior said, listen, we need some park benches. And she wrote up this nice resolution. But we did discuss it as one of our needs. You know, we talk about we want them to build a hospital, but you know, you can have seats
Do you
for
wanna add this to
seniors
our list?
where we had them before and they took them away.
Put it
So
on the
we ask
system.
for the pie in the sky, but then the simple
John?
things we don't ask for.
John, we'll have to take it up at the next meeting, but I don't know how we
I
proceed.
think we have to vote that we agree on this.
Huh?
this bid.
Oh, we have to vote on this.
Okay.
Okay, the changes, no, thank you. The changes we made.
What? No, that's what I'm asking you. No.
You know, I'm asking.
All right, let's vote so you can go home.
Okay, all in
All in
favor?
favor?
Sorry,
Favor.
Of what?
we're voting on what we just talked about.
Yes.
John, are you in favor of our?
I'm in favor.
Okay. Anybody opposed? Okay, John, let's take your topic up at the next meeting. You can't add it to
Oh,
this list. We can't add.
It's gonna be
Thank you, ma'am.
to add stuff.
Okay, you heard that, John?
Yeah, I heard you.
So we're gonna add it to.
So how,
What is that
this
meeting?
resolution that I have, can we bring it up to the next meeting?
Okay, but listen, Onesh was saying
It's
that.
broken up into two parts. The first part is we're responding to these first, and then after we submit these responses, then Zach is gonna bring back the whole list.
I think what John is recommending is that someone who's already written a resolution in support of benches, and that's what we can bring to the committee and they vote on that. It's not related to.
Okay, but I think we can do both things, so we can add it to our budget, John. So we have another meeting coming up, we're gonna add new requests to our budget. John, you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And we can talk about the resolution at the next meeting, but I think it's important to add the bench request to our budget list.
And I just read a.
Yes.
I just read an article somewhere about, new, the leaning seats that are supposed to.
That's at West Fourth.
Yeah, but there's.
In the subway.
Like, when at the train station.
Leaning
we also
benches
read an
instead
article
of
that
sitting.
there's not enough benches outside for seniors,
Yeah.
that they can only walk but so far, and there's nowhere to stop and sit down in the meantime.
See, y'all say seniors, but I want that.
Take it away because they don't want homeless people to sleep.
Right.
So now,
But they need to have both.
Yeah,
From
because,
West Fourth Street, they need to have both.
because seniors and
Are we
disabled people.
adjourned?
Yes, are we off?
turn us off.
Run in the meeting.
No, we're joined, yeah, joined. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, John.